Discovery, roger. Go for deploy.
2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
You start?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Toon Talk 2.0. Hello, everyone. And they can hear you this time, Virus.
Sorry, I was testing my fingers. Oh, that sounds really nasty. I wasn't testing my fingers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Toon Talk 2.0. We have a special guest today, Justin Spur from Spur of the Moment. And yes, I know that you can't believe
I don't know,
what you see.
for some reason I'm
We
blue
got two
again.
fucking geeks. Relax, Cameron. All right? Your blue
Cameron.
lighting. Yeah,
It's
James
not
Cameron
blue
makes it.
lighting.
That
It
blue
happens
lighting
every
is
time
for
we
the
do
geeks
Star
now.
Trek.
Almost every time, yeah. It
Oh,
wants to turn me into an
here
Andorian,
we
and
go. So we jump from geeky to paranormal. So every time you guys do Star Trek, it goes blue.
what's really funny is I was about to say, no, Andorians exist, but they don't.
They don't.
But they do in Star Trek. They're a thing that has a real life representation in the world. Like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is
What?
alive.
Santa Claus is alive? No, he's not. He got killed.
Alive. So
Oh.
actually, you can go and do this. Anyway, so like I said, welcome everyone to Toon Talk 2.0. We have a special guest, Justin Spore, and we're celebrating many things. For a start, that we're gonna present you our podcast that we've been announcing, right? With these two phenomenal geeks that I have in front of me, Jake Boger and Justin Spore, that they're gonna have this. I'm not gonna present the podcast because I want Jake to say the name and say thank you, Virus. After
Thank you,
that,
Virus. You were
you're welcome.
correct. You were right. The Final
Good name.
Frontier will be premiering September 8th. Don't know what time yet. What time should we premiere it?
I think it's prime time, so I think 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
That would be 2 p.m. here.
Oh no, sorry, no, it will be 8 p.m. for you.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes. That's perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so
That would be prime time.
Well,
yeah,
hey,
it's prime
Omni.
time.
Sorry.
Who's there?
Omnicastnet
I'm not looking at.
says,
Hi,
"Hey
Omnicastnet.
fellas, live
I don't know who
long
you are, but
and
live long
prosper."
and prosper. Anyway, so we have a
Wait,
special.
I'm trying to remember, where did I see this, or am I just making this up in my head? Somebody was insulting a Star Trek fan and said, "Oh yeah, live long and suck it." Is that a thing, or did I just imagine that?
I think that
That
you.
was to both. I swear to God, I saw it as both a Robot Chicken sketch and a Family Guy cutaway, where it's like Spock wins the lottery and he's like, "You can suck it, you can suck it, you can suck it, live long and suck it." So I've definitely heard "live long and suck it" before.
So do you guys understand this? It says your culture will adapt to service us. That's my greeting. Is that a reference you guys get?
I do not recognize the
I didn't
difference.
know
No,
if that
actually,
was from a thing.
I never took geeky in my life. Actually, I'm pretty
My bit
cool
is
to
on
do
the
that.
newbie.
Yeah, show your tattoo.
Well, my tattoo is a musician thing.
It
What are you
is
talking
not a
about?
musician thing, you fucking liar.
It's a guitar plug that
It
goes into
is.
my hand. It's a guitar plug. I'm serious. That goes in and out my body all the way to my heart. I'm not kidding.
So you
It
lied
has
to
got
me?
a reference. No, it got a reference from the Matrix, how it gets in and out. But it's a guitar plug,
Ah, okay. Because you told me it
so
was
I'm
a.
cool.
You told me it was a. So I get it now. It's both.
Oh, it's both. It's like a reference from the Matrix, from the blogs, how they fit in real life.
It goes both
But I
ways.
made it. But I did it a guitar plug, so it goes all the way to my heart. So I'm cool. I speak coolish. I don't speak geekish.
But aren't you a
That's why,
vocalist?
yeah, I'm the coolest guy.
Okay.
Maybe the guitar player is cooler, but we get all the attention. But either way, we're not
It
talking about that.
depends. It kind of depends on the era of music. But anyway, I digress.
Okay, I need you to evolve in that.
Oh
What do you
no.
mean?
So at least because there was a big debate in like the early to mid 2000s. At that time, everybody thought the drummer was like like the coolest, most important part of the band. It was for a very
What?
brief window. It was a
What?
very
Yeah,
brief window.
like for 3 hours in your high school. When that happened, I don't remember that.
That
I
would
mean,
have
there was a
been
period where Tommy Lee was cool, and he's the drummer.
Yeah,
So
but
like,
Tommy Lee was in the 80s with Motley Crue. The 90s they were done.
no,
Yeah.
it was around the same time that like the emo era was really.
Oh, that's 2010.
Mm,
I think that you're confused, my brother.
no, no, no,
I
no. Emo
the
was
last
big when
time
I was in high school, so that would have been like between 2004 and 2008 ish.
yeah,
let okay, let's
that
assume that I was
that's
in another
crossover
part
for
of the
me.
world. So I let's assume a big world range from 2003 to 2011, right?
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
only drummer that was worthy to talk about in that time, it was the Red Sullivan from Avenged Sevenfold. The rest didn't even exist,
No, I'm saying it
and
was very
because he
brief.
died.
It was a very, very brief time, but then there was some.
Really, the
It
drummers
was.
are never famous, bro.
I agree with you because I always said that was weird because it's usually depending on the band, it's either the guitar, the lead guitar, or the vocalist, depending
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
the
band.
reality, the only worst thing about the drummer is the keyboard players. Nobody gives a fuck about them.
And anyway, before I forget, this podcast is brought to you by the Down the Middle podcast, and I already forgot the other one. Oh,
Let me do
and
my wrestler position.
different hands.
I
that's
am.
the Iron Claw.
Do-do-do-do-do.
That's the the
I
claw.
am. The claw. But are we
I
doing the
can't do it.
claw of the movie or the
Yeah,
claw from Liar Liar? Yeah,
no,
let's
well,
be careful with that.
they're the same thing.
I know, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. But also by Self Health Fitness. My buddy Kyler will help you feel better, shed the pounds, get stronger, and just be
Like this.
general healthier all at the same time. And we'll talk a little bit more about those later, but let's get back into Star Trek here.
So
Um,
first of all, I need to thank Coach Book from the Method. Look the size of my bicep, bro. This is I haven't been this since I played football. I'm not kidding. Look my face compared to my thing. Like what the hell, dude? Anyway, sorry. It's not the lighting.
he's been to the oh God, what do they call it on the Enterprise? Was
The
it
funny
the
thing is that
The
isn't just
weird
my.
gym where they shirtless do shirtless sticking.
yeah, but they called it something. It wasn't weird, but it was like they didn't call it a
It
gym.
wasn't gym. Yeah, I
It
remember.
was a gym, but that's not what they called it. Shoot. And we were talking about it because it was like in one of the episodes we recorded, we realized that it's the only episode where you see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
It never comes
There's all
back.
the. It's where
Meanwhile, you
Kirk does his
remember?
awesome judo flip.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
that's where we figured out that William Shatner's a legit martial artist.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like talking about cool people. He's cool. Have you ever listened to their albums?
I'm familiar with. The only reason why I'm familiar with William Shatner's album is because there's the bit on Family Guy where it's Stewie making fun of him singing Rocket Man while he smokes the cigarette.
I'm a
That's the only
rocket
reason why
man.
I'm a rocket
Rocket Man.
man. Yeah, that's I had no idea that was a reference to William Shatner till like years later. And again, don't know. The thing with William Shatner, all of my William Shatner knowledge is context free. Like I have no idea why he sang that. I don't know what was with the freeze frames. I just know he sang it. Yeah, and that bit on Family Guy is very accurate. That's what makes it so funny.
My
So
favorite was always the bit on Futurama where he's Hawk singing the real Slim Shady. That's
No,
my
that's another good
favorite.
one. That's
Will the
another good
real
uh,
one.
Slim Shady please stand up?
every album is like that. He's actually narrating the songs. But how gutsy you need to be to release more than 10 albums? You're saying poems with music because he's not singing because he doesn't sing. But it's
No.
like fantastic, like totally gutsy. Like you gotta get it. He was the biggest rock star in that time. Being the captain,
He's
Kirk.
Captain fucking Kirk. He
I
can do
think I
whatever
think
he
though
wants.
I think though in retrospect, he's kind of become kind of like a lot of stuff that maybe was cool back then kind of seems kind of corny now. Like there's a lot of stuff we're watching when we watch the show, and I'm like, is this cool or was this or is I find it corny now, but was this cool at one point? Like,
Oh,
or was he just
definitely.
always corny?
No, 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 no.
Probably.
Actually, no. It was cool back in the day. everything that happened. Obviously, I didn't live it, but my brothers that I used to watch Star Trek lived it. Right? It was cool. Everything was cool. That was when they released the first episode of Star Trek.
September 8th. Well, okay, that's a bit of a tricky question. The first episode made air on September 8th, 1966. That's when it made air, but they made the pilot a year earlier, and they produced the second pilot earlier, a little bit earlier
So
than that.
1966, the man just arrived in the moon a couple of years back.
Yeah, that's true.
Kennedy, right? So the society
Yeah.
were needing something that opened their perspective. And let's be honest, if we're having right now a conversation through Zoom in 2 different countries, in 3 different states, is
Yeah.
thanks to Star Trek.
Oh no,
Because they,
we already touched on that, and I'm actually pleased
it's
to
amazing.
announce that
Go ahead.
you haven't seen the episode yet, but I wasn't sure. We were talking about the origin of the flip phone, and I remember reading an article about it.
Click. Sorry.
Well, not only was it,
Click.
I was right in saying it was Motorola, but not only that,
Yeah.
Motorola directly references Star Trek in the name of the fucking phone.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
The start. Yeah. What is the name of the phone? Tactec.
yeah.
Tactec. Yeah, something
Huh.
like that.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, it's amazing. So
I like
now
this guy. I
I
like
don't.
this Omni guy because he Ambojitsu, Charlie X episode. He knew exactly what we were talking about.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And that points reminds us, man landed on the moon in 1969. So you got
Wow.
that's so wild to me. 3 years
Well, hold on a
after Star
second.
Trek.
1969, the man got in the moon. So what happened in 1963? That it was in the
That
space.
that was the first American Earth orbit, wasn't that?
Maybe.
I could be
I
wrong. I bet you Omni knows.
well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure.
Fact
I'm
checker after
confused.
my own heart.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point. You're
1962. Oh, yep, 19 he fucking knew. 1962 we orbited the Earth, John Glenn.
Thank you. Uh,
Thank you,
so either
Omni.
way, the maybe he's an alien because he's an ovni. Ah,
I don't know, I like this dude. He knows his Star Trek. Are
watch
you
out, ovni. He always does that. He
yeah.
start flirting with you. You think everyone is a groupie
Oh,
ovni.
he's a Borg, is what he says. So what number are you then?
So either way, uh, I'm just gonna make this comment because I need to, right? As everyone knows that are our followers, I'm more of a Star Wars than a Star Trek, but I really love Star Trek. One of my favorite toys growing up. My
Third of
mom
12.
has this big collection of toys in
Mhm.
this amazing crystal thing, and she got an original Spock, Dr. Spock, like Battle Man with the clothes that you can take up. Of course, I stole it every time that of course it had several fight suckers, Darth Vader, and a lot of GI Joes, right?
Did he
And
ever give
but
Vader the Vulcan nerf pinch?
totally. So that's one of the coolest moves ever exist in the
When he
history
did
of
it, did
movies.
Vader go, ah?
No, he was like, do it on the other side. That nerve is destroyed by the Born. Anyway,
Vader is kind of a Borg, if you think about it. I
I
mean,
was just gonna say, is he?
not the hive mind part, but the partial machine part for sure.
yeah, but yeah, I'm glad that you guys were taking the time to have this Star Trek special. So I want to learn more. If you guys actually
Well,
are willing
that's
to
my
share.
thing is I'm coming at this from I'm the newbie, I'm the novice. I'm learning. I know shockingly little about Star Trek, which is kind of awesome. It's making this fun.
It makes the conversations more fun though, because you'll ask questions that if you were a fan of Star Trek, you wouldn't ask them because you would. It's not that you would already know. You wouldn't even think to ask the question because you would already somewhat know the
So
answer, or it would just be a
you're like a
different vibe.
virgin in a strip club.
I mean, a little bit. Yeah, it's yeah. It's funny you say that. It's yeah. For me, a
Why
lot of this is
exactly is funny? Because you're a
because
virgin or because you
because
want to be in a strip club?
no, because the second episode was about space strippers. So it's just a
That's the name
weird,
of the episode,
like,
by the way.
yeah, it's space
Okay.
strippers. So it's just a weird coincidence you said that. But no, my thing is it's providing me a lot of cultural context. I'm like, oh, I get that reference now.
There you
Um,
go. So, quick
guys,
question: What is your favorite? What is your favorite character in the whole show, including
ooh,
movies, TV? Because I got one that for me is always gonna be the cool one and the one that I love and the one that I feel more identified with, and it's not Aurora. Calm down. Now I'm talking about any character that you guys want to talk about. Look, my face a mess.
I mean,
that is
I'm
so
loving
hard.
I'm loving Kirk right now. Kirk. He's William Shatner. Is just he's 100% into this, and I'm into it. But after last episode, it's Spock. I mean, I'm dressed like Spock. It's hard not to say Spock. Leonard Nimoy, he's crushing it. I'm quite impressed. I expected that character to be a little more flat than he was.
Oh
Oh
no,
no,
Spock.
Leonard Nimoy was
Yeah,
great.
I was
He
legit
has
impressed.
Spock has a lot of depth. That's really hard for me to say because I love so many of the characters, but gun to my head, I think I got to go with Kirk. If for no other
Yeah,
Yeah,
reason that I mean, he's the model.
yeah,
They made a
yeah. He's Captain America. He's the
yeah,
perfect hero.
and
He's
yeah.
smart.
they made a decided effort to go a little bit of a different way with Picard, and I get why they would do it because you're not going to beat Captain Kirk at being Captain Kirk. So,
Yeah,
but I don't care for Picard that much. I think he's far too indecisive and a little bit of a sissy the
he's
bulk of the
not
time.
as bold as Kirk. Kirk is totally Kirk is smart, but he had the Flash Gordon valor, right? That
Yeah, yeah,
fuck, let's do
and
it,
Yes,
and I
yes.
like that from him.
a different era though, because you have to remember, Next Generation premiered in 1987, so we're still
1987 and explode and actually explode in 1990 because
yeah,
at the
yeah,
beginning fans
3
didn't
years.
like it.
Well, but
I
the
live
point,
that area. That I live that
yeah,
area. I was like
well, but
12-year old that era.
the point, well, like I remember both my parents liking the Next Generation was a sin in my house because we don't
Really.
want. Oh yeah, we don't want this car. Well, both my parents were they would have been young teenagers when Star Trek premiered, and they were both Star Trek fans, and they were
Yeah.
both like, "We don't want this crap. We don't want this new Star Trek. We want,
Yeah,
our
fans didn't
stuff."
My dad
like
watched
it.
it religiously. He loved like I remember that fun fact about me, the only reason I've ever had ever heard of MASH was because I knew it for
I
years as
love
the
Mash.
show that came on after Star Trek. So Star Trek The Next Generation would end and it would split screen to the theme song of MASH. That's the only reason why I'd ever heard of that show.
Have you
But
watched
my dad used
Mash?
to watch it. I watched the movie. I've never watched the show.
The
The
show's
show
so
was
good.
it's good. It was now could be boring, but if you're in the mood of enjoying it, it's fun.
No,
I
it's
remember something about MASH. I played the Atari video game of MASH, guys. That's how old the
oh, I
fuck I
hate
am.
that game is so hard.
I was so hard.
It's
That's what I hated
so
it.
hard. It's
I
very
Yeah.
difficult.
here's what I would say. I watched the movie, and my immediate thoughts. I think I said, surely the show must be better than
It
this
is.
because
It is.
I didn't think the movie was well that I didn't think the movie was exceptionally good, and I was shocked to find out that the Mash theme had lyrics. I had no
Uh,
idea it had
Suicide
lyrics.
is painless. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
Um.
yeah,
let me share something with you. Back in the day, from the 60s to the probably late 70s, the TV star was in a different dimension. The movie star was untouchable, but the TV star was super cool. Adam West, right, in Batman and Robin, William Shatner, Nimoy, the guy from Mars. What is he got such a unique
Alan
name,
Alda.
Alan Alba. They were like so odd because even movies were getting everywhere in the world. It was those years that I mentioned is the expansion of the TV internationally. So you get to see MASH in the Sundays in Argentina, right? You get to see Star Trek double, right? In open
Mhm.
TV everywhere in the world.
Hmm.
So it was, but my favorite character is Bones. He's sarcastic.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
Bro, guys, it's
yeah.
Bones.
Oh.
Check
Ooh
this out. A
yeah, that's a
sarcastic,
good one.
arrogant. He solved the problem and he got the perfect line
Ooh.
to fuck everyone's mind. Bones is my favorite one. I don't
I
have the
respect
old
that.
one and the movie one.
I do respect that as well.
I respect
I
Every
was I
version
was
of
I
Bond.
almost said Sulu. I almost said Sulu because we've been talking each week about how surprisingly charismatic a young
Suluist.
George Takei is.
Um,
Like I
Yeah.
two things real quick. So I'm going to finish my book. I was talking about Picard and why he's different. You got to remember, 1987, we're still not in the middle of the Cold War, but we're still in the Cold War. And this
yeah.
is during the Reagan eras where things were a lot more, or at least they were trying to be, and they were more diplomatic between, the Soviet Union. And so there was a different mentality of like, well, maybe punching isn't the answer. Um, it
Well, I
was
think
wrong.
Kirk compared to Picard, I think Picard, for me, having not watched it, more familiar with Picard. He's the intellectual to Kirk's. So I think they balance each other and they make them their. So I understand as a next generation character, I understand his functionality.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. But it's funny because Spock is Kirk's first officer that tempers his, you know, spirit of Earl Flynn with logic and, more calculating. Whereas Picard has Riker, who is basically just a reincarnation of Kirk with a beard eventually.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I, and one thing I will say that I thought I had this morning was um having watched 5 or 6 episodes of the original series, I get why people don't like Wesley Crusher. Because when I'm like, well, you know what this franchise doesn't need? A kid, a recurring kid character. It doesn't need
Hmm.
that.
I
I
think you
understand why
get
people
that.
hate him.
I think you get that after watching Charlie X. You're like, oh yeah, no, Starship is no
Yeah,
place for a child.
Now,
But
yeah.
now, without being enemies, I want to learn from you guys. What is your most hated character in every episode, every dimension, every
Ah,
generation, every
I
movie?
I assume you mean main character, right?
No, whatever. You can tell me. Please don't say a soldier that run in the back. I'm
Yeah,
talking
okay.
somebody that
I got you. While you're thinking, I'm gonna share because
I
I
know
think I like this
exactly
guy.
who I mind. I can start if you guys want.
Um,
Data,
um,
I hate that motherfucking bitch.
ooh, yeah, I
I
don't like
hate
Data.
him to the core.
see,
He's like the lamest wannabe Spock ever.
That's what
Data
I
is
said.
I
That's what I said. I meant it. It wasn't a joke. Data is just Spock ordered from Wish.
yeah.
He's. I mean
I
that.
I like Data, but mostly because I've only ever seen him in isolated clips where he looks fun and lovable. I've never seen because I've never watched the full show. Maybe if I've seen him in like a bunch of episodes, I feel differently. But like from the outside looking in, I always like Data.
Thing is,
Okay, imagine this. Go ahead.
I understand if people hadn't seen the original series why they would like Data. The reason I don't like Data is because Data is, again, it's just even some of the character beats are really just a repeat of Spock. The only exception is Data is trying to be more emotional, whereas Spock
Uh,
is.
and something that saying that Data is close to Spock is like saying that Kylo Ren is as strong as Darth Vader, but at least they were related. Here's the same shit. It's the same bullshit.
Yeah, it's the
But
same
Data is
bullshit.
bad. Yeah, Data is
I
bad. I
gotta
don't like him.
I gotta share Omni. So we've been invited to Jeopardy on Saturday night's best Star Trek trivia show from Omni.
Congratulations.
Well, I mean, I think he's inviting all of us.
I
I thought
don't
you were sharing that with us.
Oh
I
no, he
don't know.
says
Sure.
I mean,
you guys should join us for Jeopardy on Saturday night's best Star Trek trivia show. I'll probably lose because I have this really weird thing that happens is whenever I'm in the hot seat, my memory fails me every single time. Um,
I just
his
don't
fa-
know Star Trek well enough to participate in trivia. It's Star Wars.
his favorite character is Tuvix,
That's
and
that's why you should be in a trivia, not us, because I don't know what the fuck that is.
I
he
have
also
no idea who that is.
he does bring up a good point. Riker character is actually based on Decker from the motion picture. Ilea is Deanna Troy. Yeah, absolutely. Um, you are all welcome to play. I'll hit you up on that. Omni, if you
Now, Omni, if you want to do a Star Wars one, I'm totally in. Because to
Yeah,
be honest with you, that's
I'm
my
more familiar with Star
specialty. Jake
Wars.
is the Star Trek. But if you, okay, check this out. He can memorize a full script, Jake. But
I
if he's
cannot, I can't
relaxed,
read it either.
he's relaxed now. If he's relaxed and somebody asks him, hey, he can tell you everything about the script. But if you go and
Wait,
say, hey,
like
what is in page 4? He'll be like,
I don't have
for
that kind of
yeah,
memory.
Memorizing it at like all at once because I can't do a whole script at once. My brain can't handle that. But
I
I can
don't
do
know what you
parts of a
guys
script.
do. I read a script in 35 minutes, guys. A full
Well, I not like
130 pages.
specific details, but I can remember parts of it. I'm the kind of guy where whenever I had to memorize a script, I just remember the parts I do, and then I slowly as we do the thing, I'll just remember everyone else's parts. I'm that kind of actor.
He says they sometimes have Star Wars questions, even though it's a majority. Um, but okay, Omni. Another thing, Omni. I got two questions for you, my friend, because we might be able to reciprocate here. I want to know what your favorite episode is of all time, and then specifically your favorite episode from the original series, because might invite you on for that one if we haven't already covered it.
So let me say something. And I'm just gonna keep talking here. I
Yes.
like the original show. I like it. Don't take me wrong. And at the beginning, the next generation and Deep Nine, for me, I just don't. To be honest
See,
with you.
the funny thing is Deep
Now
Space Nine is my favorite, my absolute
I
favorite.
know that, but the first time that I watched the new movies, the J.J. Abrams, I fucking hated it. I didn't like them. But then I grew up a little bit, and then it's when I started making movies, and then I saw them, and I love the fucking movies. The movies are
Interesting.
really good. What is the name of the actor that plays Khan in the second one?
Benedict
Cumberbatch?
Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
Dude, he's really
Oh,
good.
See,
Even the
here's
original one was really good. I know. It's personally it sucks that they didn't call me because I'm Latino and handsome, like fucking the original one can, right? But it's really good. I mean, Ricardo Montalban was a massive good can because you even
so
yeah.
the
good.
name. However, Cumberbatch did a really good job. Now that I
He
watch him
did.
in detail, it's
I
bro.
did enjoy him as Khan. I really did. I genuinely did.
See, here's the frustrating thing for me. So that movie is dog shit. But
I mean, it is. It really is.
Cumberbatch as Khan, if they had, this is no way Cumberbatch's fault at all. The script was terrible. But
Yeah,
him
the
as
script is messed.
Khan, oh my God, if they'd done it right, it would have been amazing.
Wasn't
It would
that
have been
that
amazing.
that was a Simon Kinberg script, right? I'm
But
pretty
you
sure that
know
was a
what?
Simon Kinberg script.
I don't
You
know. It
can
might have been. It
see
might
the
as well have been an
studio.
M. Night Shyamalan script because it fucking
No, hold
sucked.
on a second. Don't mess with the night. That guy's really good at
Oh,
script
I
writing.
will.
Give me a
No,
second.
he is not. Have you seen Lady in the Water?
Okay,
wait
well,
till we get
Lady
to
in the
my
Water and Old
recommendations,
are really
Virus.
bad. Old and Lady in the Water are
Unbreakable
really bad.
drowned in a puddle, dude.
Okay,
Okay,
Unbreakable, you are not allowed to mess with any one of those movies. You're
I
not
I
didn't
allowed.
mess with him. He's the one who had the guy who's unbreakable drown in a fucking
he
puddle.
he he
Not even
drowned
a
in a
He
lake.
puddle.
was already weak because he was in the fucking water
Okay,
for
you
like
want to
5 minutes
know
fighting.
how to not drown in a puddle? Turn your fucking
He
head.
can even fucking move. It's like kryptonite. He
It's like
can
Little
move.
John in Robin Hood Men in Tights when he fell in the fucking puddle. Adam,
I just gotta say something.
stand
We're
up.
man. We're man in tights. Sorry.
Always on
Okay.
guard, defending the people's rights. I
That's
love
But
so
that movie.
funny.
I know.
Much better script than
Oh wow, wow,
Into
wow, wow! But
Darkness.
you're messing with Mel Brooks there. That
I mean, that's a
and
classic.
Mel Brooks should have
that.
done a Star Trek parody. Because Spaceballs is gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool for what it meant, but it's
Well,
really bad,
yeah.
man.
I mean, that's the point, though.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, so uh, my favorite movie probably will be the original one when Khan comes out. What is the name?
Revenge of Khan? No,
The Revenge of
Wrath of
the
Khan.
Wrath of
Wrath
Khan.
of Khan.
I mean, the Wrath of Khan probably is my favorite movie of all, but the original Khan
Okay,
So
because
Omni.
Sorry, go on.
I think I have the dumb here. What is DUH? I think I'm having a memory lapse.
yeah, I told you, Omni, you
Oh,
cannot.
he means duh. I thought he was abbreviating.
I told you. Good try, Omni. Jake, focus here, bro. Focus here. Come on, focus here, man. Anyway, so DUH means look at me, Jake. Duh.
Duh.
UPP is whoops, okay? And Asterisk CK means fuck. All right? Are we
That all
good?
makes sense to me.
Anyway, so what is your favorite one, Justin?
My it's funny again. My entry point into Star Trek is always been the movies. Because when I was a kid, like I said, my dad grew up with it, and I like you, I'm a major Star Wars guy. I grew up on Star Wars. So the thing about Star Trek for me as a kid was it was constantly mind blowing to me that something that took place in space could be boring. Like it was just people standing around talking. Like I wanted lightsabers out. So like the first time I was ever actually engaged with Star Trek was those J.J. Abrams films. But the very first Star Trek movie I ever watched that I remember liking is First Contact. But I didn't know it was a movie. I just thought it was an episode of the TV show.
It
Like
was a
for
TV
like my
movie.
whole childhood, I had
Was
no
it a
idea
TV
that there
movie?
were movies.
Oh, it wasn't
I thought
theatrically released?
I'm pretty sure that was theatrical.
I'm not sure. I remember that I was really young, guys. Like, and we were just got a parabolic antenna, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember clearly how my dad is telling my brother, "Move to the right," and my brothers are like, because it wasn't automatic, and I gotta be like 3 years old, right? And I remember stopping a Star Trek, right? And it was a movie, and suddenly we got commercials. I thought, oh, it's a TV, and then I'm pretty sure it was a TV. One of those were maybe they do it at the same time. Star Trek was TV and movies were a different matter. Now
Well, he
you
did
get
confirm First Contact was theatrically released and it did very well.
Yeah, like
okay.
that's usually the one people go, oh, the one with the Borg. That's usually the one people say.
So now you can hate and say whatever you want from the J. Abraham movies, but the scene when the kid destroys the car and comes out and the cop asks his name, is the coolest thing on earth. What?
That's the only scene I don't like in that movie. It was
I
What the
so
fuck are you talking about? It's so
stupid.
cool.
No, it's
I love that.
okay. Okay, here's the thing though. It's not, I mean, in my opinion, it's not Star Trek in the very same way where Star Trek Beyond.
Okay.
Not only are the Beast and don't get me wrong, I like the Beastie Boys, but not only are the Beastie Boys in the soundtrack,
You see? Look, my energy, you're destroying your image because you're talking bullshit.
no,
But
but
keep going.
they actively use the song in the movie. And that's so not Star Trek. Or if they made an Orville movie and did that, absolutely. But in Star Trek, no.
I
There's
really
this
like that
weird.
moment in the trailer. The very first time I saw it in a movie theater, and I didn't know what the trailer was, and he was like, oh, I'm James Tiberius Kirk, and this isn't your daddy Star Trek, and I'm like, you know what? It's not my daddy Star Trek, and I'm into this. And
But it
to me, that
was.
really set the
He
it
is.
really set the tone for that universe. My thing when I watched that movie, and this is a question for Jake, for me, does it bother you that it's not technically Captain Kirk? It's presenting itself as an origin movie, but it's not technically an origin movie. Because I was like, if I was a really hardcore Star Trek fan and I wanted to see a big budget, like this, he's not technically Captain Kirk. He's a version of Captain Kirk, but he's not technically Captain Kirk.
I actually prefer it that way. I actually like the fact that by establishing a separate timeline, and the way they did it was I enjoyed it because it leaves the original untouched and they have a free pass to do whatever they want. That's why, like, when I criticize Into Darkness, it can be a different origin story for Khan. I just don't like what they did. It's not the fact that it's different. It's just it was bad in my opinion. Also, who the fuck did the character design for the Klingons in that movie? Because they should not have a job.
Eric Bana doesn't look like a Klingon.
None of
Yeah,
them
see, that
look
didn't
like
bother
fucking
me.
Klingons.
That doesn't bother me, but that's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like if I was familiar with this friend, it's funny you guys mentioned M. Night Shyamalan. I watched the last Airbender movie for the show, and the number one thing me and Jordan say about that movie is the first time we watched it, we had never watched the last Airbender show, but even we could tell something was off. We're like, this doesn't feel right. Like, and with that I could tell
Yeah,
those Klingons just don't
this
look right. It's just
this bald Buddhist child is very white.
Well, let
right.
me
Like
let me say something. The
it
problem
doesn't
with
feel
Knight,
right.
He's an amazing director.
Is he?
He's a really good, yeah, he's a really
Yeah.
good script writer
Is he?
when the budget is low.
Okay,
When the
okay, that I will
budget,
agree.
shut the fuck up because not even one of you have 9 movies, but shut the fuck up. He's really good.
Well,
But the
Kamala
thing,
Harris is vice president of the United States. Some people just fail forward.
let me finish. But the thing is, every time he got a big budget, he fuck it up. Less the
I
budget
don't
he has, better
disagree
movie
with
he
that.
makes. However, Trap, the last movie, his last movie is really good and has a big budget.
I
Yeah,
need to and want to
I need to
see
see
it. So
that.
yeah.
But
I like the beach that makes you go old. I know you made fun of
I
that. I
hate
like
that's
that
like the
movie.
worst one ever. Not an
I like that
Airbender.
movie. I actually enjoyed that one.
Have you ever been in a beach in Mexico using doing drugs? You do the same. You don't need to
Ye-
make a movie. You just go
For legal
old.
reasons, I feel like I should say no.
Anyway, me neither. I just watched it in a movie. Anyway, I want to show you my cock to everyone.
Oh, I was like, don't do that. We'll get banned from YouTube too.
Again?
Actually, no. If you say, never mind. I'm not gonna. That's the wrong show. That's
That's
an
the wrong
average
show.
intelligence joke.
Oh yeah, you can do whatever you want. You own the company.
Yeah,
Leave a little.
that I would say. All you have to do is identify as a woman, then you can show everybody your dick, and it's fine.
It's actually pretty smart, but I don't want to be a woman today.
Well, that's just it.
I
It's not a
I'm
identify
choice.
surprised.
myself.
It's who
I'm
you are.
identifying myself as a self person with a point of view that is a little erotic for the other people. However, I need to respect my perspective on everything. I expecting for you to do the same.
That seems
Now
fair.
watch. Now look at my cock.
I feel like I'm being told what to do without knowing what I'm being told what to do. Is
I
this what it feels
feel
like to be a
that
Democrat?
yeah,
I think so.
and that's another podcast. Now that you mentioned that, we need to do more promotion about our other podcast.
Hey, there's one in the sponsorship right now, so I'll just go ahead and go into it. Full
Should it.
180. Do you like professional wrestling? Fun fact, The Rock's first ever television, other than wrestling, of course, I think his first acting role was a guest spot on Star Trek Voyager, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
No
really?
way. Is that true?
No, I think that might be his second.
Wasn't it? I thought it was
I
the
think that's his
Mummy.
second. No, that's his first film role, his first acting role on television. Damn it, no, the
Oh
first one was
shit.
a cop show, but I think the second one was episode was
You
called
know what? I just
Come on,
decided that
Ami.
for finish the commercial.
Sunkatsu.
Finish the commercial. Where are
Anyway,
you
he
today?
wrestled. I'm getting there. I have to connect the dots. All right, Luthez, simmer down. Anyway, that's how you connect wrestling and Star Trek. But if you like Star Trek and pro wrestling, or just like pro wrestling, check us out on Down the Middle, where every other week, myself and my partner in crime, Hakeem, well, here lately it's been mostly just ragging on AEW, but we occasionally do say positive things. And we say a lot of positive things about WWE and various other promotions, not least of which being TNA making a bit of a resurgence. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like.
No,
I remember that. I remember
it's a
TNA.
really good one.
It's still around, actually, Justin.
I can't believe it's still around. I remember when see I know very little about but that wasn't TNA, wasn't that Spike Television's
It
professional
went
wrestling bit?
when it's still around, but yes, it started airing on Spike. That was its first network.
I remember when Kurt Angle went over there. That's
Dude, that was actually huge at the
yeah,
time.
I remember it was a big there's two Kurt Angle moments I remember. It's when he ripped off the wig and when he went to TNA.
You don't remember the tiny cowboy hat? That was good
And
shit.
obviously you suck. You suck.
You guys are
You
so
suck.
white right now.
I'm not even that big of a professional wrestling fan. I just grew up in the 90s.
That's
Yours.
true. That's
Okay,
true.
let me tell you something. The other podcast that we have, The Method, right? Book and I, we used to play, like, we hurt each other really bad jumping from the bed, like everyone. But I was Macho Man and he was Hulk Hogan.
Oh
That's-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So one of you could wrestle and one of you couldn't. That's what you're saying?
But one of you
So
could travel through
who?
time.
There you go.
No, Macho Man, of course, could wrestle. That's what
Macho Man was
yeah.
Randy Savage was the shit, bro. What the fuck
Yeah,
you talking about?
yeah, that's why he was the
Yeah.
Macho
Intercontinental.
Man Randy Savage.
That's why,
Bonesaws,
Randy,
Randy.
that's why
I was
he
gonna do
was
the
the
Hulk Hogan, but I don't want to break my shirt.
That's why he was the Intercontinental Champion. Yeah, because everybody knows the world
Randy was
title.
Slim Jim.
The world
But
title's
so
the money title, but the Intercontinental, yeah, that's the workers' title. Yeah.
Oh, I have a tangential professional wrestling related question because I couldn't get an answer on Jordan out of this one. How do you guys feel about Ben Affleck as Hulk Hogan and with Gus Van Sant, like of Goodwill Hunting fame?
You know what? After seeing
it's
him as
not bad.
Batman, I can see it.
Really,
Uh,
I
uh,
couldn't see it.
I can
well,
see
you
it.
gotta remember that he's a really good actor, man, and
I mean, he is a good
characterization means
actor.
he's a really good actor. The only people that don't, I think, that is my favorite Batman, not my favorite Bruce Wayne. Let's be clear. Christian Bale is my favorite Bruce Wayne. I don't even like Michael Keaton as Batman. He's too puny for me. But the my favorite Batman is Ben Affleck.
But for me with Hulk Hogan, it's 90% the voice, and I'm just not seeing Ben Affleck doing the voice. I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure he can do the
I
voice.
mean,
Everyone can do the voice.
with the dialect coach, anything is possible.
Ah, dude.
I suppose. I suppose. I'm just like that's just not a cast. I don't know who I would cast as Hulk Hogan. Ben Affleck is just not the guy I saw.
The only person that can play Hulk Hogan to perfection is Hulk Hogan.
I
Too
mean,
bad
you're
he's
not
too old.
wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I don't know if you guys seen the new movie In Time by the best director that ever exists in the world, Robert Zemeckis. For everybody that doesn't know, our audience, Back to the Future, Castaway, Forrest Gump, etc., etc. His new movie is called In Time. I don't know if you guys seen the trailers. Holy shit!
No.
You see Tom Hanks, and you got Jenny, the same actress from Jenny, is their whole life since the dinosaurs
Huh.
of the humankind,
Hmm.
and you see them perfectly young men and perfectly old, and they're using this technology that we were gonna when we got sued by SAG and after, right? Because now they're perfectly. It's the first movie that is gonna present us the future of movies using the real actor with his voice, but technologically advanced with CGI. It's not called CGI. It's human design, but it's fantastic. It's totally fantastic. Check the trailer for everyone. Now we're going out of topic, but I want to say something before we go back to Star Trek. I watched the movie Iron Claw last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I cried. I felt it. I will never see Zac Efron the same way. What a great
Yeah,
guy!
That's
it
true.
did change my
And
Every time I see Zac Efron in a new movie, I literally get more respect for him. But I totally understand what you mean. That
fuck you.
movie, that movie elevated him. I don't care what anybody
And
says.
let's forget about this chronic action and so many well performance that he delivers as a character. Just to work out to get to that level, bro, every day
Oh
of your
yeah, he
fucking
was
Yeah,
life.
huge
all
for
those
that
He
movie.
looks.
workouts.
It doesn't matter, man. If you
Yeah,
put
I know.
injections and don't work out, you're fucked.
That's
He
true.
really
I mean,
looked. His body looks like Conan the Barbarian.
they were
Exactly.
all doing steroids back then anyway, so fair is fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
fair.
right. But anyway, I just want to
That's
say
fair.
hello to Saki.
My
What's up, Saki?
my thing with that with the Iron Claw is were I not familiar with the story outside of that movie is it's gonna sound really cruel, but comedically sad in the sense that you're just like, how could this? It just keeps escalating to a point
Well,
of almost
but
ridiculousness.
It's actually
If
worse. The real
Oh, I
story is
know
actually
that's what
way
makes
worse.
that's what makes that
I
movie
read it
crazy is
after.
they saw that they were like the real life story too depressing. We need to tone it down. Like that's the wild bit about that
Well,
movie.
you know what? I was watching it
Good
with my
movie though,
mom,
but
and I watched it with her on purpose because the perception of an older person is different. And she was mad at the dad, and I was mad at her because she was blaming the dad, because the dad actually, first of all, the acting is Academy Award of the dad, like seriously, oh, but dude, he did the best that he could and create an environment where he can support the dead that brings so bad in the family, if you don't recover for that, or it's enough time to keep going, it will drag you down. I say it in personal experience. The death of a close person in the family, as a brother, right, can drag you down. It can stop your life. And this poor family is one. The other, the other, the other.
Yeah.
You cannot even blame. And then I went to a 2 hours argument about the movie because she was telling me, well, he pushed them too far. I said, did he? Because
No,
Michael
and they
Jackson that pushed them too far.
well, and
He
and and to be
he
fair,
wanted to.
they did dial that up quite a bit for the
Yeah,
movie. Fritz, I mean, and again, I wasn't there, but based on what I know, Fritz did push pretty hard, but the boys were all pretty gung ho
yeah.
about
Yeah.
wrestling. I mean,
How
Yeah.
you couldn't know? Your dad was a pro and
oh,
he was
well,
amazing,
not only
and he
that,
got a move.
I mean,
Like,
the older brothers, Kevin Von Erich, who Zac Efron
yeah,
plays, was the first brother to start wrestling, and I mean, God, you can't even describe it. In Texas at the time, the Von
Yeah. They were
Erichs were, oh
huge.
my, I mean, but they were real life superheroes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there were.
you see your brother starting to get that, of course you're going to want to find, and then by the time the whole family gets involved, four of the five brothers, if not five of the
But
five, I
they
can't
had
remember.
bad luck, bro. They
No,
really
five of the
had bad
five.
luck. What happened in the Olympics is not their fault at all.
No, and that
And then
was
he's recovering for the loss of everything, and then he wins, and he can handle winning. Now that acting is so good that he was doing at the same time of The Bear, the first season of The Bear, the
Jeremy
filming,
Allen White. Yeah, he's really good. See, I discovered my love of Jeremy Allen White. If you've never seen it,
touching
from
yourself.
Shameless. Shameless. I love the show
oh no.
Shameless.
How
You
That
know
show's so
what?
good.
I got a problem with Shameless. I got a big problem with it.
it stresses me out too. Don't feel bad.
No, 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 no. I watched the original one from England
Oh, that's your problem.
way
Yeah, that's
before.
a
No, no,
problem
no,
right
way
there.
before. No, no, no. Wait, hold a second. I watched it and around season 7 in England because I travel, not that you motherfuckers start tricky geeks. Now I got the chance to look at, and at that time I was dating an girl from Austria. So the perception it was all around, right? Living over there, and it was like perfect. It's like the perfect characteristic. And then around season 7, they do the first release in. It wasn't HBO, was Cinemax.
Showcase.
Showtime.
Showtime, yeah,
Showtime, sorry,
Showtime,
Showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime. And then I'm a super fan from Shameless London, right? And then I saw the first episodes in Detroit, and I see they copy the camera moves. They copy
Yeah,
the
well,
camera moves. They copy they just tropicalized, and I'm not against that, but it didn't drag me because I'm already seeing it exactly. They didn't tweak
yeah.
it a little bit, and the character that plays what is the dad's name?
Oh,
Frank.
Frank, but
What's
The
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 name?
actor or
actor,
the character?
No, the character.
Frank.
Frank.
Frank Gallagher.
Frank, dude, Frank, the actor that does that in England. Sorry, but it's 10 times better,
You
Ah,
shut
but
your
I such a
mouth and don't say an
yeah. I was gonna
unkind word
say
about William H. Macy. He was
William
the
H
brother.
Macy's a
shoveler, God
treasure.
damn it.
He is a
Brother,
treasure.
seriously,
He
he's a
shovels well.
treasure. Yes, whatever you want, I highly recommend if you have the will to understand what I'm saying, put yourself in a time machine and look 3 episodes of the original one, and you will understand what I'm saying.
Well, the first season of the American show is pretty well one for one an exact adaptation,
Yeah,
like recreation of that show. I can't remember what season it veers off and becomes like an almost completely different show. But I genuinely like. I was surprised that he stuck it out for as many seasons as he did. He was in, I think, every episode. That was impressive, and he was still making movies.
Virtually.
Yeah, he's
Virtually.
in virtually every
Uh,
episode of that show.
to swing it back, to swing it back around to Star Trek, I got a question for you though. How would you feel, not as a captain, because I think honestly, I think he's still too young, but I think it would be a good, gateway. How would you feel about Jeremy Allen White being in a Star Trek series?
I just want him in more stuff generally. So like,
I think he might
I
honestly be a little too big right now, though.
yeah, I got too young. I think, but also I kind of want to see like a Star Trek. I mean, I want to see root Star Trek from Quentin Tarantino. I mean, that's my dream. Um,
No.
but
Dude, seriously, I'm gonna let you take
I,
a deep breath and try to repeat what you just said in front of
I'm a
everyone in the audience.
Tarantino fan. I enjoy his movies, so
I
I would
like
totally.
Tarantino, but he cannot fucking touch this franchise.
I'm a
No,
big fan
because
of
he'll ruin it.
Subversion.
He'll make the fucking Klingons the good guys before they were the good
Worse
guys.
than that, it will be a full intergalactic problem, and it will get solved with a can of tomato. Why? Because he wants to.
I mean,
No, and at the very end,
yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson will be like,
probably.
"Nook, nook, motherfucker."
I just want to see a Starfleet captain say an F word.
Hey,
I don't know.
how you call a quarter pounder in Klingon?
I'm weird. I enjoy Subversion. So like for me, I'm a big and I enjoy things that are weird. So like I'm a huge Wes Anderson fan. So I want Wes Anderson to do a Star Trek. Star
Now,
Wars. I
Wes
mean, I want him
Anderson.
to do a Star Wars
Oh
so
fuck.
bad.
No, yeah, that's not gonna happen, buddy. I will just.
No, no, it's
No,
not.
it's
But
not. Well, now let me tell you, I got a big argument with Jake all the time because I'm a Quentin Tarantino fan. People don't understand that he's doing a what if with all his movies.
oh yeah, he
Even
wants to rewrite history. Yeah,
so, and that's kind of cool because give us a different perspective with some a better outcome, if you will, right? At least in the
yeah.
last three. But imagine him messing with Spock, bro. That would be bad.
I don't. My thing is, I don't want him to touch the OG character. For me, I want to see like the like to do this like the Star Wars movie the most excited for is that Taika Waititi one where it's just like a random crew, randomly going on a random adventure. Like it doesn't have to be Kirk or Spock or Picard. Like he doesn't have to touch the eye, but give him his own like cast of like foul mouthed. They say
I
They
know,
swears and
bro,
it's
but
violent.
a
they
Star
already
Trek
made that
without a
show.
Spock. Yeah, it's called the
Lower
Seth
Decks.
MacFarlane one.
No,
Oh
no, no,
no.
Yeah,
no.
but that show isn't that show still basically that show makes me like, oh, what if Rick and Morty? It's Star Trek by way of Rick and Morty, but they're not allowed to. But it still has to be PG. Like that's what
Basically,
that show looks like to
I'm
me.
sorry. I heard Taika Waititi, and I instantly just threw up in my mouth.
You're not a Taika Waititi fan? I
Fuck
liked all of his
no.
movies except for the last Thor one.
He's a talent. He's a
You know what?
talentless hack.
First of all,
He's
we
so
have
bad.
three generations right now in this podcast. So the perception of every one of us is totally different. Totally
This is true.
different. Uh like I'm gonna say this and people hate me when I say this. I don't like Rick and Morty.
I don't either.
Oh, interesting. I love Rick and Morty, but
Yeah, but
I love it when
it's a fucking spaghetti foo, right? Version of everything that doesn't supposed to be. They put it all together there and use all the fucking cliches of the movies that we like. Like I
I
hate it.
Yeah, you
cliche.
can't.
Yeah, I'm a cliches are cliches for a reason kind of person.
Yeah, but
I
you
tend
also
No,
to
no,
err
and
on
but
that.
you also can't deny that the character designs are just a rip off of Doc Brown and Marty.
yeah, of
Well, that's
course,
because
it's
they are.
annoying.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
because they that Rick and Morty started off as a short called Doc and Marty, and the entire bit was Doc convincing Marty to suck his balls to travel through time. That was the whole joke. So the fact that they are just Doc and Marty, like
I
that's
know, but you're messing with
And that's why I don't like it right there, because it's
yeah,
the
right there.
spirit.
It's like, dude, you just destroyed the American dream. Just saying that. The doctor
Like
asking Marty to suck his balls, you're destroying the American dream.
I look. I don't
Zemeckis
love
is
that's not
I
the
supposed
mean,
to
to
stuff
be
do
fair,
that.
I.
Justin's not. Well, and so I
Me
believe it or
neither,
Well,
not, I
but
Justin
can.
you know what
is.
I mean.
It's not this Justin.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I can actually segue that. So what's funny though is a lot of people. I remember when I think it was in 2017, if I'm not mistaken, the first trailer for the Orville dropped, and
Yeah.
instantly I was like, "This is either gonna be extremely awesome or it's gonna be awful." And there are
And do
people
you
to
like
this
it?
day. I love the Orville, but
I
here's the
love
thing
the
though.
orbit.
But here's
Yeah,
the thing
Orville's
though.
so good.
It has fun with the concept of Star Trek without shitting on the original, because at its core, the Orville is a love letter to Star Trek from
Yeah.
somebody who's a bit of
Well,
an inner
Mr.
comedian.
McFarlane's a genius for this generation.
Well, also had a guest star role on an episode of Star Trek Enterprise, and that's jarring to
Was
see
he?
if you know. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
really?
that's
Wow.
jarring to see
Huh.
if you know who he is, because it's not
Huh.
funny at all. But he's I'm not saying he's trying to
Dude,
make it funny, but it's very much just Seth MacFarlane in a
there's
Star Trek
nothing he
uniform.
can try that doesn't work. Seriously.
The Orville's one of the best television shows I've
I'm
ever
telling
seen, and
you,
I mean that.
everything that he does is pure gold. Family
He's
Guy,
an
American Dad, a thousand ways to die in
A
the
Million
West.
Ways to Die in the West.
Fuck, it's an amazing movie.
I like that
Seriously, the
movie.
guys. Have you ever listened to him sing?
Yes.
Oh
Like
yeah, he's
Frank
got a bunch
Sinatra?
of jazz
Fuck.
albums. He's very talented. Yeah.
Impression that he's on point. The Orville is an amazing show, and the casting was really good.
So
I love the whole
that's
cast. I mean,
it's great. And Norm Macdonald as Yaphet, which
R.I.P. to the
oh,
goat.
What
My
is what is
favorite,
the girl, the ex-wife?
Kelly.
Adriani
Yeah,
Palecki.
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, she's good too. My favorite Norm Macdonald joke of all time is still, and it's only the one version of it because he's done it on stage, but it's the one where he's on comedians in cars with coffee with Jerry Seinfeld, and he's talking about the rape allegations and how they ruined Bill Cosby's legacy, and they're like he's like, oh, did you think that those allegations would have ruined his? The worst part about the allegations is that they ruined his legacy, and he goes, no, I think the worst part about the rapes was the rapes. He probably
Oh.
shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
He was
Oh.
such a dry way. He was so funny.
Just to finish with Wes, everybody knows that I'm an extremely super fan of Community. I think it's an amazing show. And everybody's like, oh, you like Community? You gotta see the new show, Rick and Morty. And I hated it, man. Even there's an episode on Community that they touch alternative realities rolling a dice. That is
Yeah.
fantastic. It's
What
fantastic.
what I will say about Rick and Morty is that show for
It sucks.
me is
Piece of
is
shit.
it's good in spite of its creators. Because you're right, there are elements of that show I can't fucking stand.
Dude, but
Justin
I
Roiland
watched it
being
and I
most of
didn't
them.
laugh at all.
My thing is I love creative science fiction concepts. So like my favorite episode of that show is there's one where there's a whole thing where there's a citadel of all the various versions of Rick and Morty. And there's an entire episode that's a big metaphor for capitalism. And it's all the different versions of Rick and Morty all competing in a capitalist system. And he's supposed to be the smartest guy in the universe. And it deconstructs the idea that even in a universe where he's the smartest and most capable guy, when you put him with himself, he gets reduced to nothing. And to me, stuff like that's interesting. But when it's like Dan Harmon doing an episode about how much he hates heist movies, like there's an entire episode where it's just Dan Harmon complaining about how much he hates heist movies. Yeah, the show
That's the
sucks
way
then.
Harmon is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw the first episode, didn't like it.
The
I
first
saw the
episode's
one
bad.
that
It's
Freddy Krueger kind of thing is talking to his family because he's following them. Really bad, bro. I don't know. Let's move on from this because I'm getting depressed.
So, but really quick, Omni, if you're still watching, I don't know, we got to figure out a way for us to connect after this podcast is done. So, like Instagram, or you can go to the website. It's in the description,
Toontalk
rtmedia.org.
2.0 and Instagram. You can write us. Toontalk
Yeah,
2.0 on
yeah,
Instagram.
either one, or yeah, the easiest might be to just go to rtmedia.org and do the contact form because that emails me directly, or like Virus said, Toon Talk 2.0 on Instagram. You
Isn't the
can find us.
poster of my
We'll
band?
connect.
Isn't the poster of my band really fucking awesome?
Yeah, especially the bunny ears it's giving you.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said, but it's actually Theta. Anyway, so
Well,
yeah,
we
cool.
can segue now into the announcement that we've already made several times, but we're going to make it again. Our new
Please.
podcast for all you Star Trek, all you Trekkie fans out there. Justin and I have joined forces and created a crew where every week we basically it's a watch along podcast for Star Trek, starting with season 1 of the original series, and we're going to keep going in per the seasons, and every week we watch an episode and then we talk about it.
it's substantially more organized than what I normally do. I actually take notes. It's a whole thing.
I take a lot
That's
of notes.
fantastic. I got a question.
Yes.
Is Justin and I or Justin and me?
Grammatically, it would be Justin and I.
Well, it depends on the context, but in what I'm talking about, Justin and I.
Okay. I
So,
always get
but
confused with that and who and
Oh,
whom.
right
I
there.
never know.
so oh my God, that's actually one of my grammatical pet peeves because everybody gets it wrong. Everybody. They always assume that it's I, and that's not the fucking case.
No, it's not the case
So if
all
you
the
were
time.
saying, so if I were saying that you were talking to the two of us
Justin and me.
grammatically,
That
yes. Because, and
I
here's
know
the
that.
secret, kids. Thank you, Mrs. Linder, first grade, because she taught us the trick
She
young.
got the big knockers. Oh, sorry. No, yeah, you go
No,
ahead.
actually, she was quite a small woman. But anyway, so the trick is take the other person out of the conversation and say it again. Virus is talking to I sounds fucking stupid. So why would I say
Talking
Virus
to
is
me.
talking to Justin and I? Even though everybody
Ah.
says I.
Now,
So if you're
so
not sure,
what is the name of a small knockers teacher again?
Mrs. Linder.
Mrs. Linder, can you give us another explanation or who and whom, if you don't mind?
See, that one I'm not even sure of.
Oh,
No,
yes, it's complicated. Yeah, it's
I got
super
like a
I
complicated.
C
b-
minus in English.
I believe the difference is what direction the action is going. So if the who or whom, if the who is doing something, then it's who. If it's
Yeah,
being
it's a
done to,
question
if it's
on
if
who
it,
is
it
whom.
but if it's being done to the unknown person, it's
Yeah.
whom. I'm not sure though. I
Thank
could
you.
be wrong.
Thank
Well,
you,
don't
Mrs.
quote me.
The
I could be
small.
wrong.
Thank you, Mrs. Small Knockers. Lindenberg, what was the name again?
Linder, just Linder. I don't know if she's still
Linder.
alive.
Small Knockers Linder. Thank you. Probably she's dead, Jake. So don't worry about
Probably
it.
because she wasn't young when I was 7.
So
I'm
So
okay,
sure that's how she wants to be remembered.
before we jump back to Star Trek, 100%. I will not say anything else to distract you guys. Tell
oh,
me who's your
let's ask.
hottest
Hang on, let's
teacher.
ask Haley. Let's ask Haley. She said not to brag, but she got a B plus in English. Okay, Haley, can you explain who versus whom for us?
Hmm.
Because we're wondering about
And
this.
I will not take shit about Patrick Swayze, I promise.
He actually
Meanwhile,
loves
Patrick
see,
Swayze,
Patrick Swayze. He just
I
doesn't
know,
like
I
to
know.
Pat,
talk
I
about it.
say, I know.
Patrick
He's
Swayze
got
could
a
have been Kirk.
yeah.
Well, no, because he's dead.
I meant more meant in a past tense kind of way, but I mean, you're
And it
right.
will ruin it. Who wants a dead Captain Kirk, dude? What is wrong with you, Justin?
What's a dead cat? I mean, that is true. That is true.
Okay, but
But
let me go back. Jake is having an attack.
Was
So
not ready for that.
Justin and Jake. Meanwhile, Haley give us the explanation of who and
Oh my
whom.
god.
Uh, one thing. Who's Did you ever had a crush in one of your teachers in elementary or high school? Ever?
No.
yes, I did. But
Sure,
I
Justin,
mean,
please.
well,
Come
I had
on.
there was one. I went back and I took our equivalent of, I don't know what you would call it, but in here in Canada it's called English 12. I took it a few times. The second time I, not because I failed it, but because I wanted to go back and get a higher grade. The second time I took it,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a
He won a higher
younger,
grade with the
it
teacher
was
that he
it was
liked.
a
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was a younger woman who was my age, and she was really pretty.
She
So
was your
yes,
age.
yeah, she was like super smart and like graduate high school at like 15. She was like in her 20s, yeah. But I
Oh,
was
they put her
21 and
in a.
going into Canadian.
Hold
Wait,
on a
this
second.
Well,
Hold
was
on a second.
university?
Fuck you, Canada.
this is Canadian. Well, this was what's called continuing education. So you take
Ah,
it
yeah, but
through.
that's after high school.
Yeah, yeah, it's after high school,
Ah,
Okay.
okay,
but you
that makes
take
sense.
it.
That makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
high school level English. So it's the grade
Okay, that
12 high
makes
school
sense.
level English. Yeah, I went
Yeah,
back as an adult because I wanted to be a writer. And I've done that a few times. Every time I decide I want to be a writer, I go back and I take
yeah,
English.
yeah. I want to be a writer with the hot teacher. Yes, yes, yes.
No, no, that was a side fringe benefit.
Anyway,
Something nice to look at.
I got this psychologist. Probably I'm in fourth grade, and she was the sister of the principal or something like that. I don't even remember. She was so hot, bro. She was like probably 26, and I'm like 9, and I was like, get to the moon for that
You were
woman.
like, "Sup, baby? Want a juice
Just
box?"
makes
No,
it
no, I
easier to
remember that
learn.
she say, I'm doing my thesis, so probably she was like 26, and she was the psychologist of the school. Who want to volunteer? And I volunteered right
He's like,
away.
"I need a couple of strong boys to help carry some chairs and tables."
I say, what's up, mama?
Let
I
me
mean,
tell you something, boy.
probably
I
right
can
now,
carry
if I was,
3 chairs in one
let
hand.
me see,
Yeah.
I was 11 and she was 26. So that was that 15 years of difference.
Still
You're just
illegal.
So
like, baby,
right
you're willing to
now,
commit a crime?
hey. So right now, if you're looking, baby,
Oh my god. Did you
I
guys
don't
ever
even know
watch
her name.
did you guys ever watch the show Grounded for Life? Please say yes.
No,
Grounded for life.
no,
No.
Oh,
not by
it's so
name.
good. But anyway, there's this hilarious episode where, long story short, the mom in the show ends up being the hot mom on the street, and then the main dad and his brother Eddie are reminiscing about their hot mom when they were younger, and Mrs. Delvecchio. And then there's a line where he's like, God, she's got to be like 60 now, and he's like, yeah, bet she wouldn't close
Yeah.
the door on me now.
You remember How I Met Your Mother when the dad comes to live with Lily again and he's looking at the old woman? It's like, she was old back then. Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, so Haley has an answer for us.
Thank
Who
you,
and
Haley.
who and whom is about identifying the role of the pronoun within a sentence. Who functions as the subject performing the action of a verb. Whom is used as the object. So I was kind of right, but she explained it much better than I did.
So
Oh,
let me see if I'm agreed. She spent a lot of time writing that for us, and you just decide to cut it out and say that you were right, Jake. You
No,
just
she
did that
finished.
to our
No, I finished it.
and
That was
bro,
it.
like you don't know me. I'm fucking with you. Anyway, so
Receiving an action. Oh, so, God, that's an awful
whom
joke.
is gonna blow me?
who was
No,
Whom is
because
gonna
that's
blow
perform.
me?
It would be who because that's performing the action.
I know, but I want somebody to perform the action and me. I got it, man. I'm just fucking around. Anyway,
That's what I was gonna
so
say. That's a new
it's,
euphemism for us when we want to say that somebody's a receiver.
who
It's like, oh, you're a
who?
whom.
you're
You're
whom?
whom? You're
Anyway, so
whom?
Star Trek. Um,
Yeah, we just lost 2 feet.
what is uh you know what I never like
A
the
couple of whoms.
guns. The a couple of whom. The guns in Star Trek is something that I never felt attraction to. The
Clearly,
set
you've
to
never
stun.
seen. Clearly, you've never seen Spock's assault phaser.
It's the salt. See, it's funny you say that because Jordan, for the past few weeks, every time he sees me, he goes, I sent my phaser from stun to more stun to even more stun.
I always set my phasers to fun.
But fun. But here, okay,
Fucking geek.
here's an interesting question. If you could take, because we talked about like Tarantino doing Star Trek, if you could take any director working today and give him Star Trek and do anything with it, who would you pick and what would you let them do?
Oh, I
Denis
totally
Villeneuve.
know.
Denis Villeneuve and whatever the fuck he wants.
Interesting choice. Interesting choice.
I will go totally commercial and give it to Michael Bay.
Michael Bay.
Hmm.
Me and Jordan just talked about Chris Nolan this past week.
Just
I go Chris
imagine,
Nolan.
just
Chris
no,
Nolan would be
but
good.
hold a second. Imagine Michael. Let's not forget what Michael Bay did for Transformers, guys. A
Make
lot
it
of people.
suck.
I try to.
No. Hold a second. Michael Bay is like Nickelback. They're really good, but people want to
No,
take shit, talk about shit about them.
Nickelback didn't ruin the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Michael Bay did.
Here's
Well,
what I will
let's
say.
just start that you're talking about a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I know that you're a fan, but come on, bro.
He also didn't direct those movies. He only produced them.
Okay, but he still
Um,
ruined them because he let them turn them into Teenage
Thank you.
Mutant Alien Turtles, which they're
Actually, no,
not.
he didn't. He didn't actually. I have to be fair minded here. He technically didn't do that. That was, I think, one of the changes he made. He changed it off of that because it was notoriously unpopular. I was big into that movie. This is a
Either
topic I'm not too
way,
familiar with.
let's remember what he did for Transformers. Transformers, the first one and the second, there were good. Give us Megan Fox, guys.
Oh,
Give us Megan Fox. They give it, dude. What do you have against that movie?
well, I watched all five of them in the course of like 3 days, and when you do that, they're exhausting, awful movies that make you go.
Yeah,
Like I
you're
remember
crazy.
being
Who
like
wanna
after
see
the
a Michael Bay movie five
they're like
times in a row?
this they're like the cinematic equivalent to doing just like a bunch of cocaine all at once. And like, hey, if you're into that, that's fine, but it was exhausting. It was
No,
very
yeah, the
tiring.
Michael Bay. But think about the scenes when they could go to Warp Zone, right? With the Michael Bay style going to the.
He could direct an action sequence, and by that measure, you're right, it would be interesting.
And I will say this about Michael Bay. I love the Bad Boys movies. They are
Yeah, I
fantastic.
My
mean,
favorite my
Michael Bay is
favorite
good, bro.
Yeah.
my favorite Michael Bay movie is Pain and Gain. I love Pain and Gain. That's easily
Pain
my
and
favorite
Gain is
Pain
Michael
and
Bay movie.
Gain is funny.
It's
Mhm.
so
Real
good. It's my
life
favorite rock movie.
commercial. Pain and Gain. Yeah,
Oh,
it's really
wait,
funny.
didn't Michael Bay did Pearl Harbor too, didn't he?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
that
movie's
was one
also
of
that
his
movie also
mistakes.
sucks.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
that sucks.
That movie's misunderstood.
I
Why?
mean,
Because some
I don't know.
romantic story in the middle of the war.
Jordan watched that one. He did not care for it.
Now,
I've never
let's
seen it,
be
so I
honest
can't
with
comment.
this.
I said
The only
what I said.
American in this podcast is the one that likes Pearl Harbor.
I
Maybe
didn't
the
at
next
I've
one.
never
first.
seen it. I've never seen it, so I cannot comment.
Oh, shut the
did.
hell up, Justin. I thought you knew what you're talking about.
I
I mean, I've
didn't
never
at
seen Pearl Harbor.
first,
I've never.
but it's actually a really really good movie.
To
Ben
be fair,
Affleck
I've
is
been.
there, right?
Yeah, Ben
Yeah,
Affleck and
I
Josh
like
Hartnett.
it.
but
Forget
Cuba
about it. I
Gooding
like it
does a much
already.
better job, apparently.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. He's good in it, but I wouldn't say Ben Affleck
Shame
and
on you
Josh
for not
Hartnett.
getting that reference.
So okay, guys.
Apparently not.
So
What
now
did
we have our own director to direct that movie. Tarantino, Michael Bay, and who you mentioned?
Denis
Oh,
Villeneuve.
for me, it's Chris
Chris
Nolan.
Nolan.
I want Chris Nolan. I don't.
That it will
I
be a
would
really dark. It will be a really dark. I will watch it, of course, Justin, but it will be a really dark.
see,
Oh
but
yeah,
I feel like because Justin, we were talking off air about the motion picture, the first movie of the like original crew. I
yeah.
bet Chris Nolan would have hit that out of the fucking park.
Yeah, yeah,
Something
probably you're right.
introspective. I think you could do something introspective that would be
Because
interesting.
that movie was trying to be, but there were it's like we were talking about the concept was not bad, but there were so many
I
glaring
I'm gonna shoot
issues.
myself in the floor because you guys know that I like Nolan a lot from the beginning. Know when he became famous, right? With Memento, I love that movie and the script. I think it's majestic. But Nolan doesn't know how to direct an action scene, guys. That
Have really?
Oh,
stay with me.
oh,
Stay with me for a second.
That's a
Take
hot
the
take,
bad
my friend.
cape.
that's a
Yeah,
hot
but
take.
take the bad cape. Take the special thing. The passion of the let's talk about the Dark Knight. When the trailer is grabbing everything and rolls, at is well directed, but it doesn't bring you the it brings you the surprise when the character comes out and stand there. The action itself is only persecution.
See,
And this is my perception. This is my perception.
My favorite Chris Nolan movie is Inception. I think that hallway sequence in Inception is so
It's
good,
good
and I
shit.
think
It's
his
yeah, he's
anti-gravity
amazing
shit.
in sequences and tension, but he's not, in my perception, an action director. He's not. He knows how to manipulate your emotions, but I think his actions a little flat in my perception. And I love him. All right, don't take me wrong.
I
Like
think I think his stuff in Interstellar and in Inception, I think he could do really
Interstellar is
interesting stuff
really
with,
boring, bro.
but it's
Interstellar is
visually
good, but it's
interesting.
boring. But it's boring. You can fall asleep with Interstellar. You can.
I can't disagree with that.
If you're
That's,
if
I,
you're
I
Okay.
can't I
are you
can't
Yeah,
fight
hype?
for
but
it.
just
Are
because
you
it's
hype?
so relaxing.
Yeah, no.
I
Like I
can't fight that
say,
hard for that movie.
Okay,
no, but like I
fair.
say, he's good. He's good narrating, and he's good with images and dragging the
So
emotions. But as
so
an
so
action,
so that's why I picked Denis Villeneuve because he does both exceptionally well.
remind the audience who the fuck he is.
He was the director for Dune, the new Dune reboot.
I
And
think
what I
yeah.
feel about Dune,
You didn't care for it, but you have to admit, in those two movies, there are phenomenal action sequences,
See,
and
yeah,
that's my
you
thing.
know, I take Michael Bay back. James Cameron. I want James Cameron to direct
Ooh, he
those.
also would be good. He
yeah,
would be
but he
good.
just turned it into a derivation of
I
Dances with
want,
Wolves.
I want all James Cameron
Old James
from
Cameron, I would
Judgment Day
take.
and Aliens. I will take that.
Yeah,
I'd
because
take that.
my like base point for me for like when I think making a Star Trek movie, I'm like, how do we take this and make it both visually interesting and mainstream? And like those, I'm like building off the back of those J.J. Abrams movies, where I'm like, who is capable of doing something like really visually interesting, but
J.J.
like
Abrams.
also
I was gonna say
yeah,
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, yeah. But
Just
but I
keep
mean
Ryan
visually
Johnson
interesting,
the fuck away from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like visually interesting and like me and Jordan talked about Chris Nolan and big ideas. And to me, Star Trek is big idea. That's what I'm learning from this show. Is like I kind of would want to see Chris Nolan do a full feature-length adaptation of the last episode we watched for the last episode we recorded. Like, I think he could really do something visually interesting with that.
You know
Yeah,
what will be
he could.
something that in the past happened and it's not happening anymore because it's an industry really well formed now, entertainment. Back in the day, and I try not to talk about Star Wars, but in that era, when they brought Lucas, Cameron, Steven Spielberg, all that branch, they look into the young fans fellas with new ideas, and now you look for the name that make money, and that's a big thing with art because it's already corrupt.
Yeah.
I don't want to go all like that, but seriously, there's a lot of guys. Have you guys seen uh what is the name of these YouTube videos? Dark Sun, Bad Bad Sun, that
Oh
they
yeah,
put
Bat in the Sun or something like that.
the
I
Bad
know
Sun, the
you're.
Sun. So they put fighting characters fighting together. That guy's an amazing director, but he doesn't have a huge budget, right? He got a big budget, but not huge. That guy's supposed to have an opportunity to direct a mainstream. And what's the result? You could have another Star Wars, another Indiana Jones, because that's how that that whole movement now. You gotta realize that Lucas is still on, Spielberg is still on, Cameron is still on. So it's like they grabbed the trophy and they don't want to let go. So it's really complicated because I'm pretty sure there's thousands, not hundred, not five, thousands of directors that we can find in YouTube that deserve an opportunity to direct a mainstream like Star Trek.
I don't disagree, but a lot of those smaller directors, there was that whole wave of like indie directors who really succeeded in the smaller budgeted world. Like the best example I could think of is Josh Trank. Like Josh Trank, man, he made Chronicle. That thing did super well. He was gonna go off and be super huge, and then he made Fan Four Stick, and they took away his Star Wars. Like that's to me, or James
Oh,
Mangold,
because it's a
where like
job.
he does these things, and then he winds up making Indiana Jones the crap of the last one. So like
Well,
I
it's
get
not
what you're
that
saying,
bad.
but
The last one from Indiana Jones is not good, but it's not bad.
yeah. I think those movies are relevant, but
The
just to
one,
illustrate my point. Like
the Crystal Sock, that was really bad.
I Jordan made the point. Jordan's hot take about Indiana Jones is that all those movies are of relative quality, and I tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
So there is something I was thinking about earlier today, and full disclosure, I have not watched Discovery or Strange New Worlds yet as far as Star Trek series, but I was thinking about this today because I knew we were going to talk about Star Trek. I think personally, just and don't get me wrong, I love Star Trek Enterprise, but ever since Enterprise, we've been doing prequel series, and thanks to Strange New
Yeah.
Worlds, though, we're almost back to the timeline of the original series. So, in my humble opinion, I really think I mean, let Strange New Worlds finish, like don't cut it off or anything. But I think the next one needs to do another jump into the future, into that more where frankly the bulk of Star Trek was speculating about what the future is going to look like instead of bridging the gap. Because I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Enterprise is fantastic and I know it got a lot of hate, but Enterprise is a great show.
A good
And
show.
then I'm sure Discovery I hear mixed reviews of Discovery, but I hear Strange New Worlds is really good. But that's going to get us back to Kirk. So I think the
When that
next
got
one
released, Jake? What year? The newest one, when it got released, the newest one.
a year or two ago, like it's
It's
relatively new.
on season
That's the one
3,
that I
I
haven't
think.
seen.
Yeah, yeah. So like two or
Yeah.
That's the
three
one that
years
I
ago.
haven't seen. Where we can watch that one? And
That's
what
on
stream?
Paramount Plus.
That's on
Paramount. Okay,
Paramount Plus.
I'm gonna watch it because I remember you mentioned it, but I didn't know where
I
to watch it. And you know what? I got a couple of emails and texts from fans saying that we can and that we can tell them where to watch it because we just talk in a bulk,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. All
And sometimes we need.
everything Star Trek related you can watch on Paramount Plus. The Orville is available on Hulu, and
yeah,
Galaxy Quest, also speaking of Star Trek adjacent, is also on Paramount Plus. And
I
god damn,
know.
Oh,
I forgot
funny.
how good that was.
You don't have
I love
Hulu in
Galaxy
Canada,
Quest.
right, Justin? You don't
Yeah,
have
for me
Hulu in
it's on
Canada.
Disney Plus.
This. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. now you can see through Disney Plus everything that is in Hulu, right?
Yeah, we have what's called
Ah,
we don't have
I gotta
Hulu in
tell that to
Canada. We have
Haley. But
Star.
yeah,
Star is
Oh
part of
yeah,
Star.
Disney
you
Plus.
because I saw a banner ad for the Orville on Disney Plus, and I went, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's on Hulu because they bought
It's on
Fox." So
Hulu, yeah.
Yeah.
But Paramount, you got Paramount Plus over there, Justin?
Yes, but I get it through Amazon Prime
Okay.
as like an extension, yeah.
as like an
And
extension of Amazon
what
Prime.
is the
Yeah.
other one? What is the big one over there? Crackle? No, Crackle is
Crave. Crave.
Crave. Yeah.
Crave is a lot
So
of the Warner Brothers stuff goes to Crave.
yeah, well,
That's usually
everything.
where I watch
When
mine.
I'm talking to Nadine over there, I always tell, or with Haley over there, like I want to watch something, right? And they're like, and they say Crave, and they found it in Crave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine
Crave
times
is,
out of 10 it's on Crave.
yeah.
Or
Anyway,
Netflix.
let me finish this exercise. So you have your director Tarantino, right? You have your
Yeah.
director, whatever you call it, and I'm
Denis
gonna,
Villeneuve, the only
Leave
yeah,
Frenchman I
whatever.
new.
tolerate.
Okay, yeah, I'm Pepe Le Pew. I'm not canceling that guy. That is awesome. So Pepe Le Pew is not being canceled in my world. Okay,
I
Pepe Le
don't
Pew.
think you understand this Star Trek.
Anyway,
We are
um,
going to make Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock fall in love.
so stay with me. Who will be Justin, your Captain Kirk today? Who your director?
Ooh.
Your director, right? Is that one Tarantino? Your director is Pepe Le Pew. My director, I'm gonna go back with Michael Bay because I want present. I don't want somebody like today, Michael Bay. Who will be your Captain Kirk, Justin? I think the fans want to know your opinion.
So okay, so in my ideal world, Tarantino doesn't touch Kirk, but um
Let's say so okay, let's go deeper. Your where
Leo.
exactly is located your
Leonardo
Tarantino?
DiCaprio, interesting.
Leo. I'd go
Oh,
Leo
what?
because I like
You
Leo and
won.
Tarantino together.
Forget about it. You won. Whatever those
Yeah.
two do together is a success.
Yeah. You know what? Leo and then
So Leo as a Spock.
Brad Pitt as Spock.
Come on, dude. You
Oh, and
just
then you
then
ruined it.
No,
then you
I
ruin
don't know.
it. You just fucking ruin. Actually, I was telling you that actually Leo will be better as a Spock.
Really,
He's more
I
as
love
a
Leo.
character direct.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can
So
do the
that's
face.
your call. So people, if you're listening to this, I want if you can write if you agree with Justin. Quentin Tarantino directing a new Star Trek movie with the lead character is Leo and the supporting actor is Brad Pitt.
They
So
wouldn't
that
let
sounds
him.
like no, forget about that. In this reality, you can. Jake, Pepe Le Pew, who will bring us?
I mean, my whole thing is I thought the casting for the J.J. Abrams movies was spot on, but if I can't grab them
Well,
again,
Pike doesn't look like he looks right now. You need it today.
yeah.
Chris
So
Pike. So
if I had to, it depends. It really depends. Am I going older Kirk or younger Kirk?
I don't know. It's your movie. It's your dream. It's your thing. I don't know, man.
I mean, they've all been done to death. I almost wouldn't touch Kirk, but if we're doing,
You need to reboot. Universal or whatever, go and tell you, Jake, you're the producer. Who you bring as director? Pepe Le Pew for Dunes. Okay, you got a budget. Who the fuck you will use as Spock? We need to relaunch and Kirk because we need to relaunch the brand. Who you will bring? I'm still thinking in my answers. I don't have my answers yet.
I'll be honest. I'll be brutally honest. I think that if I were in charge of that movie, I would have to hold auditions for Kirk because I would want not
So you will
necessarily
bring a new person?
probably.
I want
Interesting.
someone old. I want someone younger. Like I know
Yeah,
I
that's what
said
I'm saying.
Leo.
Oh,
I'd
I
I
want
got
like
my
somebody
version. You guys gonna go crazy with my version, but go ahead.
okay, like for
um
me, and it's just because it's just the first name that popped in my head. And you guys are gonna go "Bleh, yuck, gross.
You
But
already
like
fucked it up with Tarantino, man. Shut the fuck up.
no,
Timothy Chalamet, like
no.
No,
that
no,
kind
get
For
the
of.
Kirk?
fuck out of here.
No.
No, no,
Get
no,
the
just
fuck out of here.
that age range is
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean.
Ah, okay, yeah,
somebody
yeah, yeah.
Like a Tom
Oh no,
Holland or
no,
like
wait,
a
but wait. I got mine. Let's see
ooh,
what
that
you
could
guys think
be
about that. It's too skinny. So come on, Jake, come on. Let's
like.
vote here. Just
But
whatever
I
that
think
pops in your
Denny
mind.
Villeneuve. That's what I think. I think young, hot, like like
So
young.
meanwhile, Jake decide because it's gonna take him
okay,
3 hours.
hang on.
There you go.
This might be a controversial pick, and this would be ballsy, but I think this is
Yeah,
somebody
you're the
who's
producer. Go ahead.
This is somebody is this a movie or a TV series? Oh, yeah,
A
you said
movie. It's a
Denis
movie.
Villeneuve. Yeah, might be a controversial pick.
Okay. Wait till you listen to mine.
And I
Come
don't
on.
know if he could do it. He'd have to audition. But as far as just the look goes, I'd explore Chad Michael Murray.
Interesting.
Interesting. Can
Interesting
you tell
choice.
the audience where he's been, please?
Oh God,
He's coming back. He's going to be in the
Yeah,
Friday. They're doing
yeah.
Freaking Friday too. He's coming
Oh,
back.
he is. Oh, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. He's gonna
Remember
be
that
in
Yeah.
our
it.
big following
Yeah.
just listened to us. So can you tell them where he's been so people locate him?
So he was in the original. Oh Jesus, dog. So he was in Freaky Friday, the remake with Jamie Lee Curtis and oh
Yeah.
God, what's her name?
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay
Thanks a
Lohan.
lot.
Thank you, and does a horrible rendition of "Baby One More Time." His probably biggest one that I'm aware of was starring as Lucas Scott in One Tree Hill,
I was
but
going to say One Tree Hill. Yeah.
he was in a Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff.
No, I know who he is. I'm just trying to
Yeah,
for
yeah.
people to
I'm
locate
throwing. He was
your
in a couple
vision.
episodes of Dawson's Creek as well. He had a guest star
What
spot.
about Spock? So here we go. 3 more hours. Can you help me, Justin, to make the? Can you help me with that?
I'm thinking. Honestly, I agree with you. I think Leo could do a good Spock.
Wow, you guys are going too old for my taste.
Well,
Check this
Spock's
out.
not exactly young.
I used to love.
Wait,
I like my
wait.
casting with Tarantino.
And I need you to understand that my Spock will be Spock real. Either way, are you ready? I'm gonna go crazy.
Jake
So
Gyllenhaal.
no.
That's
I will
that's
love
my
him, but
Spock.
not.
That's my Spock.
Oh yeah,
That's a good
that
Spock.
will be.
He's a good Spock.
He's a little old for my taste, but he's an amazing actor, right? So, for Spock, I mean for Star Trek, the relaunch directed by Michael Bay, I want the guy from he played the life of Elton John. What is his name?
Oh,
Oh, I don't
Taron
like that
Egerton.
dude. Although I could see him.
But what's his name?
Taron Egerton.
Thank you. I will
I
see
like
him
Taron
as
Egerton.
I like him a lot as Kirk. As an Spock, I will go crazy pushing the boundaries, and I will cut his hair, make him a little feeder if you can, and his eyebrows corrected. But I will use Solo as Spock.
Who?
I will use Solo as
He.
Spock.
How tall is he?
He's really tall.
Is he okay?
He's
But I
like
think with Spock though.
Oh shit! You know who I forgot all about? Tanner Buchanan.
I don't know. I don't recognize him by
that's the
name.
other guy from Karate Kid, right?
Oh, see, I don't
The other
watch.
one from Cobra Kai. Yeah, I forgot all about him.
Like I said, we
Oh,
need
I don't
to
watch
tell
that
the
show.
audience. Yeah, you
If-
haven't
if
watched
we-
Karate Kid? Get the fuck out of here! You're
Yeah,
out, Justin. Come on, dude. You haven't seen
But-
Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai.
It's on my list. It's on my list of things I need to watch.
Every
I,
time
um,
that every time that you two guys says it's on my list, I wonder what the fuck you do all week. What the fuck you do all week?
I do this.
I do
I'm watching
this
R-rated
too.
comedies this week.
And
It's kind of my
I
thing.
do other things too. Anyway, but Solo as a Spock, I think
could
will
see
be
that.
spot on.
But here's
and
my-
Egerton as this so Blue Beetle, right? Justin.
Oh yeah.
That's the
I've
guy
seen
from
Blue
Blue Beetle. That he will be.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see it. But here's my
see
question
it.
with SWAT casting. Are we putting them in the? We're obviously putting them in the wig and the ears, right? Like
Yeah,
obviously?
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, but if Eagleton wouldn't be available, I will tell Zac Efron lose some weight and you're my character kick. Definitely.
Ooh.
Zac Efron and Solo will be my thing.
What about? I mean,
They'd
he
be
looks.
on my short list.
He looks. He's slimmed down quite a bit because I watched Ricky Stenicki, and that's like clearly post.
What a good movie! Rookie Staniki is the shit, bro.
I quite enjoyed that movie, but that was post.
I got a question for you,
Iron Claw.
Justin.
Iron Claw.
Did you enjoy it smoking weed or clear?
I mean, yes.
That's a totally different movie.
Both times.
Well, yeah, both times. Yeah, yes, I did.
It's a
But
totally
that's
different
the movie that
movie.
makes me go because I made a video about this and both of you guys responded to this where I was like, who's the best actor turned wrestler? And I was like, is it for me? It's like a two-way tie between John Cena and Bautista because I watched Knock
remember.
at the Cabin and I quite enjoy that movie.
So
But remember,
Thoroughly
I
enjoyed the
told you
movie.
that I told you the most successful is The Rock. That was my
I
comment.
agree. I agree with that.
The best one is Batista because he's preparing himself a lot,
Yeah, I
and
agree with that too.
the John Cena is the most likable.
I
yeah,
agree with
That
that
was
too.
my list.
yeah.
I agree
John
with that.
Cena's
Yeah,
the funniest of the three for sure.
he's the
Yeah, he's
funniest.
the more
Yeah,
likable. He's not the most talented. He's the most likable. The most talented is Batista, but the most successful is The Rock. I mean, I don't know,
yeah.
guys, if you know how much power The Rock has.
A
For
lot.
him to be who he is, his ex-wife, that is his agent, her brother was this close to be the director of a studio. They
Mhm.
just catch him in the thing because they
I
were
would
moving all the
say
things. They
he
were
doesn't
moving
have
the thing
as.
for that to happen, and that's not too legal.
I would say The Rock doesn't have quite as much power as he used to, because he took a chance with that Black Adam thing and that went south.
Bro, bro,
But
Vince
bro,
got even more power now. He's on the
bro.
board
He
of
got more
TKO.
power because he put himself there, and then he divorced the wife that is the agent. And that agent, that woman is one of the most powerful agents in the industry because all her family works in a executive level in every studio, bro. You don't
Dan,
understand.
her name's Danny
Okay, and
Garcia,
they're
right?
I don't remember her name, but I
I
think
think it's
so.
Dan. Yeah, it is Danny
That
Garcia because we always
they
make
are
fun of.
all partners in Seven Bucks Production.
Mhm.
That Seven Bucks Production is one of the most successful production companies right now in Hollywood
Yeah.
because people
I
just see the
mean,
movies. They don't see that there's so many movies behind that we can come with these three options to a studio and they could be perfect and they can give us $100 million just to do a proof of content of what we say $100 million each. And if Rock ex-wife says, "Nah, it's gonna be The Rock," game over, bro. That's how
Yep.
I mean, that
powerful
is
he is.
true. Yeah, it's inarguable that he is. I mean, for me, he paved the way for those guys. Like the Bautista and John Cena don't get the opportunities they get. Like to me, The Rock proved that the wrestler can turn actor. Because prior to that, what was the last wrestler that tried to turn actor in a major way? Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Like,
Well,
No,
but
but
here's
wait,
here's
wait.
the funny thing about
Every
that
pro
though.
wrestler is an actor.
But I was gonna say here's the funny thing about that though. I disagree only because I know for a fact that Vince McMahon really, really, really held them from doing that until The Rock was kind of undeniable and it was a sticking point.
yeah.
At one point they were cool with The Rock doing like small bit parts, but he really wanted to do movies in Hollywood and become a big name.
Mhm.
And they were like, yeah, the Scorpion King's kind of cute. That's why The Rock left because
Yeah.
he was being held back because Vince wanted the wrestlers to act, but he wanted control over it. And The Rock was like,
Mhm.
no. And
What
That's
so
what
was
did
they
this
created
Hulk,
their
movie
by
own
the
that
way. Hulk
film
Hogan
production
did
what was
that.
the
company.
movie this movie that the Rock stars that is Danny DeVito and John Travolta that they're making a movie and he's one of the bullies? You guys remember that movie? That actually
No.
the character of the Rock is John Travolta and Uma Thurman. They're making a movie. He used to work in the mob, John Travolta, and one of the guys that wanna beat him up is The Rock. And the character of The Rock, this guy is, the fist of the
Yeah.
mob, but he actually wanna be it's a comedy. He actually wants to be an actor. So next to the bar, he's always carrying his headshots, right? And for them not to beat him, they're like, I can give you a role. And he starts singing. You never saw that movie? What was of the first roles of The Rock before going mainstream as he has the lead?
Mhm.
Actually, he acts really good. The Rock is not a bad actor at all.
No, I don't think
He
The Rock
does
is.
what he needs to do.
I think The Rock is a. I don't think The Rock is a bad. I said it before. I'll say it again. I don't think The Rock is a bad actor. I think he's a lazy actor. I think he knows that he could show up. And hey, if I were him, I would do the exact same thing. There's no judgment. I think he knows that he could just show up and just be The Rock. And
I
there are
don't
certain
think that's
movies where he
fair,
just where
Justin.
he just does that.
Have you seen Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle?
Bro,
Okay, but
bro,
that's my
the new
asterisk. My
movie,
asterisk is
the Christmas movie. Okay, hold on a second. I don't think that's fair because first
well,
of all,
Don't cry, don't
going to
cry,
the
don't
gym
cry.
no,
every day
okay. But
is
that's my
massive, bro.
point.
Having the
There's
conversation to be in every word, that's a lot of effort. I don't think I think
what
his face is not a character actor, but I think he does the job pretty well, man.
like for example, like if you're talking like there's just certain movies like Rampage is the one where he's just The Rock. He's just The Rock in that. But
He
like
was
you're right.
learning.
But
Rampage is 12 years ago, bro.
you're right. Jumanji 1 where he's approximating a kid I was in high school, or Jumanji 2 where he's Danny DeVito. That's good acting. Or Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain is
Pain and
good
Gain, he
acting.
does. And who
He's
directed Pain and
so
Gain?
good in that movie.
Who directed Pain and Gain?
That's Michael Bay. I love that movie. That's my favorite Michael Bay movie.
I'm just fucking with you.
But he's so good. Like he's a capable actor when he wants to be. But there's some movies where he just shows up and he's The Rock and he collects a paycheck.
Oh, but
And
you're
I'm
not
not
too. If the
I'm not
director doesn't allow you to
disparaging
do
that.
it,
Yeah.
if the
I'm not
director
disparaging that.
doesn't, no, you know what? I feel the hate against The Rock, and you don't have hate against Dwayne.
I would do the same thing.
I
if
want to
were-
make
if
a
I were The
T-shirt.
Rock.
You don't have
So-
hate against Dwayne.
No, I would never. I love him in everything he's in. I've seen every one of his movies. Or another good one is The Snitch. The Snitch is very funny.
Snitch.
You know, there's a scene where he fights the guys who are like half his size, and he's trying to pretend that they're overpowering him, and they're not, and it's very funny. That movie's really good.
Yes, Jakey.
So actually, probably inappropriate to do now, but I would have Ryan Reynolds audition for Kirk. But anyway,
Ooh, that was pretty good.
He's perfect, but
He
he's
would be good for
old,
Kirk.
and then the movie will not be serious. And my Star
Fair.
Trek will be serious.
Fair, and that's what I said. It may be inappropriate right now, but so before we
He's too
move
tall
on,
to be Kirk. We need more bulky to be Kirk.
you know what I mean? Like Spock, that was almost an emotion.
What are you saying, Spock?
That's
It will be funny. It will be funny though. Before we move forward,
or
because
you
we
just
have,
happy to see me?
I mean, if Michael Bay directed it, it would just be Mark Wahlberg as Kirk.
No,
What?
no, it's too
No,
old.
Punch It to Overdrive.
Let me. Spock, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you saying that they can travel back in time?
We gotta Punch It to Overdrive, Spock.
I thought Captain Kirk was from fucking Iowa, but you're telling me he's from fucking Boston?
So we have trailers today, Jake?
We do, but before we get to that, Justin, I have a proposal, and I think you'd appreciate this because I said I think we need a new Star Trek show set in the future. But what if this could be a very interesting dynamic? What if the captain of this new ship is Captain Sulu?
Ooh.
I'm into it. Automatically into it. Down.
It's
I'm down.
obviously it's not Hikaru Sulu that we know and love. It's a descendant. But
It's have say his grandson. I got it.
Yeah,
That's fine. I like that.
And the
I like
reason
that. I'm
being
into
is
it.
because we were lamenting because the last episode we recorded for the Naked Time, we were just gushing over Sulu as a character. And we're just
Loving
like,
Sulu.
I don't remember this guy being so charismatic and cool and blah 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 blah. And I was lamenting the fact that Sulu never really gets his due. It is known that Hikaru Sulu later becomes captain of the Excelsior and actually has a very, very storied
Yeah,
career.
but he's always there. It's not his show.
He's always a backseat to Kirk. Yeah, so I think it'd be a really interesting dynamic if this is Hikaru Sulu's grandson, and he has to, like, it's just expected he's gonna fill the shoes of Hikaru Sulu.
How old
right?
is he?
Who?
I want a younger guy.
What
Yeah,
you saying? How old is he?
It'd be his first
Oh,
captaincy.
come on. What is the name of the guy from Hangover and Mr. Chang from Community? The Chinese guy?
Dr. Kenton.
Yeah,
Ken
Ken Jeong.
If it's an older one, I will love that guy. It will be really funny movie.
No. Not
It'll
for
be
Star
great.
Trek.
Come on.
I'm thinking someone younger, someone in their like 20s, like someone young. That's why.
There's an
Because to me-
actor. Do you guys watch Heroes?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen it. Yeah. Not that.
There's this
fucking
actor
gore.
that is a comedian.
No.
No. Maybe I'm confused. There's an actor. He's Chinese, little long hair, glasses like John Lennon. He's a comedian now.
I think Henry Golding. He might be too big.
Where is Henry Golden from?
Is he Asian?
Yeah, I think he's
Oh,
from
okay, fair
Singapore.
enough.
No,
He
no, I'm
was,
sorry.
he-
He's from the UK, but I think he's of Singaporean.
That's the guy who played Snake Eyes, right? In the Snake Eyes movie?
Oh,
Was that
Snake.
Henry
thinking-
Golding?
How
Not the
is he?
G.I. Joe one, but the spin-off, the Snake Eyes, the solo one.
Oh, shit! I was thinking about the other movie, Snake Eyes. With
Although now
Nicolas
that I think
Cage. I
about
go
it,
like, what the hell?
he might be a little too old.
Yeah, no, we probably need a new guy that you.
Yeah,
discover.
I think we need a new guy.
I think for a TV show, a new guy will be amazing.
Yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was funny. I was gonna suggest First Officer Kirk, but that's not possible because Kirk's bloodline died with him, and well,
No,
technically died with his
I will,
son David. But
I will have a contrapart women finally.
I mean, I would have it where,
well, no,
Kirk
we
just
already.
knocked up some random chicken. He's a bastard.
I mean, that would be a good story for a captain. That might, but I want Sulu to get his due, right? But
No,
that
no,
Yeah.
would
no.
be
Zulu,
interesting.
Zulu generation is the Zulu generation is really good,
Yeah.
dynamic. But I will have a contrapart like Spock, Data.
See,
Something that is there as a woman this
It's
time.
been
I
done
She
though.
could be it could be a Mexican woman that thinks she knows everything.
It's
I
been
kind
done.
of want
that's been done already. Both of them.
I
I'm
Because
kind
you
of
just
want a
had,
kidding.
Kirk. I
Who
want
you
a
have?
Kirk be a science officer who doesn't want to be captain, and he's expected to be captain, and that's his
Can we
whole bit.
make
He's
Bones Latino, please? In this example,
Ed Bondes.
Albondes.
Is he
huesos,
sick or
huesos.
Captain? He's sick or something? I don't know.
Imagine it.
I give him the shot and nothing happened. He died.
You see how racist he is, Justin? Gotta deal with this every day of
You
my life.
laugh
This
at
fucking
all of
racist.
those. Actually,
Of course,
that wouldn't happen in Star Trek because of the universal translators.
That's
exactly.
true.
But it will. Imagine you go to the medical bay and the guy has a bandana here. Yes. Oh. Anyway, so yeah, that would be great. But when they use a woman as a counterpart, educate
Uh,
the audience, please.
so it was done. Well, so the first female captain was Janeway.
No, no, but I'm
In
talking
Voyager.
about a
Yeah.
counterpart like Spock.
In the very first pilot, number one, which that's a one episode spinoff, but she makes number one makes a reappearance
But
in
what series?
Strange New Worlds.
Oh, I haven't seen it. That's fine.
But there's more. Deep Space Nine, the first officer, Major Kira.
Major Kira, you're right.
There's another one
I
too
like the
that I'm
idea of
just
Sulu.
spacing on.
I like your idea of Sulu. It's really
I
good.
like Captain
I'm a fan
Sulu.
of that. Sulu, he's the
Hey,
star of the show.
Paramount Pictures, please listen to my buddy James.
Listen,
I
listen.
mean Jake. Shit, what
First
the fuck?
sponsor our podcast. We'll plug Paramount Plus every time. We say mostly nice things, and when we make fun of it, it's with love.
I
It's
have
with love.
yet to say a single bad thing about this show. I that I can think of. They are minor critiques of a 40-year-old show.
Nothing mean spirited for sure.
No,
No, no.
no,
It's a
Are you talking about
60-year-old show.
Paramount?
Yeah.
no. Star Trek.
Uh,
I've never.
no, no, no. Actually, Star Trek is not bad. In
No, it's
my
very
perception,
good.
it will never be a Star
I
Wars, but it's a different thing.
I do
I
have.
like it.
I was
I
gonna
was
say I
just
do have a criticism of Paramount Plus, but that as a
No,
service, I like it.
Paramount Plus.
the app is trash. They need to fix it.
Shut the fuck up. Don't talk bad about Paramount
No,
because Paramount
the app.
saved me. Paramount saved me because in the darkest times of my life, I was able to watch Criminal Minds from the first season till
Oh
the
no,
end.
I
So I'm
love it. I'm
happy.
just saying the functionality of the app is
Yeah,
garbage.
I was
Really?
gonna. Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
never
Yeah,
had a
it's
problem.
Where do you watch it though?
Apple TV. What? There's another way to watch it. What the
Okay,
fuck are you guys doing?
so both on my
Oh, you
Roku,
use Roku.
not
Come
just
on,
Roku,
dude.
also on my LG Smart TV, the app
Bro.
functionality is
You
trash.
gotta understand something. Saying that that Paramount is faulty because of Roku is like using an Android. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get an Apple TV. Everything
I
works.
don't want an
uh,
Apple TV.
Everything.
uh,
Everything works.
I don't want an Apple TV.
Bro.
Everything but Paramount, and it works 99%,
I
95%
got
of the time.
Roku. I was fucking with you, but I got Roku in some TVs and Apple, and I really always go back to Apple because it's smoother, the thing. But anyway,
when I was watching the Transformers movies, for whatever reason, it wasn't displaying them in 1080p, and it didn't matter what I did, whether or not I like cleared the cache, and it kicked me out and logging back into that to it
but
is a
what Roku?
nightmare. No, this is through the to be fair, it's through Amazon Prime. So the issue could be with Amazon Prime. It might not be Paramount Plus. I don't
What is
actually watch
your?
it through
But
Paramount
what
Plus.
device are you use? The TV?
Oh, I have to do it via mobile
Via
because I don't have it
mobile,
on my
yeah.
TV. I utilize a friend's Paramount Plus, so I have to do it via mobile.
When you sponsor us, you won't have to do that, Paramount, which is
Yeah,
Paramount, we
which you
have a
guys.
lot of. If you sponsor us right now, we can get a great show with Sulu, and you will recover the $7 that Justin is saving.
Yeah, it's
Right now.
true. It's true. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying is sponsor the
I'll
podcast.
lie and say it's great.
We'll drum up interest, and then launch the Sulu themed show. And I'm telling you, it'll be
And
great.
if you want me as producer with Michael Bay and Sholo and what is the name of the Iron Claw, Zac Efron, just let me know.
I can't
Let me
imagine a
know.
world where Michael Bay would produce a Star Trek show, but it would be a very interesting
Direct,
world, I gotta say.
not produce, direct.
Oh, direct, yeah. I would watch that. To be 100% clear, I would watch both of your movies. I'm just saying, but I love chaos. So
To be
as will be
honestly clear,
demonstrated.
probably I will skip the Quentin Tarantino one, Justin. I love you, but I don't
Who
think he
wouldn't
will be a
watch
good Star Trek.
Root Star Trek? I mean, come on. You tell me you wouldn't watch Root Star Trek?
No, actually, give me Leo DiCaprio as Bones in that one with the Southern accent from Django Unchained. I'm there for it.
Oh, that'd be fun. I mean, my
Yeah,
favorite
Bones is
Leo
good.
character is Jordan Belfort. I think he got robbed on that
Yeah, of
movie.
course. Sell me this pen.
I did that in an interview once. I sold a manager a pen. She was very impressed.
That's funny. Recommendation times, Jake Bugger.
Alrighty, so my movie recommendation might sound cliche, but as Justin and I were talking about, I think this is if you want to get into Star Trek and you've had zero exposure to it, I think this is honestly the best entry point because this will give you, I think, the most contemporary take, but at the same time staying true to the spirit of Star Trek. So if you like it, then you'll like Star Trek. I'm of course talking about the 2009 reboot simply titled Star Trek. And here is the trailer for your entertainment.
I couldn't believe it when the bartender told me who you are.
Why are you talking to me, man?
Your father was captain of a starship for 12 minutes. He saved 800 lives, including yours. I dare you to do better. Enlist in Starfleet.
You will experience fear. Fear in the face of certain death.
Pull your chute!
We received a distress call.
I've been waiting for this day my whole life. This day of reckoning.
I've got no captain and no first officer to replace him.
Yeah, we do.
You are capable of deciding your own destiny. The question is, which path will you choose?
James T. Kirk was a great man, but that was another life.
Airlocking torpedoes. Emergency evasive!
Fire everything!
We'll say it's a distinct lack of Kirk Fu.
Kirk Fu, that's funny. Kirk Fu is funny. Can you explain the audience what is the Kirk Fu is, please?
It's why are we not switching back? Oh, okay. There was just a delay. My bad. So Kirk Fu. Wow, there's a fuck of a delay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
always
super
a
long
big delay.
delay. Yeah, I learned that when I was testing it the other day.
Yeah.
There's a huge delay.
So Kirk Fu is just the stand-up fighting style of Captain Kirk, complete with chops,
Yeah.
double fists, double hammer fists,
Yeah,
and
I
of
remember.
course the
A full
hunchback
remember.
judo
drop kick.
throw.
No, I mean, but he was really good on that. But you're right, Justin. It lacks of Kirk Fu.
Lack Kirk Fu.
It
Here's a
lacks
question
its-
for about this movie, because for the longest time because obviously this is Chris Hemsworth. You mentioned Chris Hemsworth being in this.
Yeah, I forgot
It's his
Chris
first.
Hemsworth was in there.
It's his first role. It's this, and then it's Cabin in the Woods, where he has an American accent. It's kind of
Yes.
wild.
And he kind of sorta, you can tell he hasn't quite gotten rid of his Australian accent in this one, because I
Yeah.
mean he's not full blown Australian. He's like he's not like, oh crikey, the ship's blowing apart, but
Yeah, but
it's kind of
he's
like
struggling.
it's kind of like one step. I'm remembering that Shane Gillis bit where he's like, doesn't matter what's happening, Australian accent's funny. It's like you could be in the middle
Yeah.
of a tragedy, an Australian guy will somebody he's like, there had been an Australian guy on 9/11. He's like, oh fuck, look out.
Really,
But my
really.
question about Captain Kirk's dad, because there was talk about about doing a Captain Kirk, Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth team up movie where it's Captain Kirk and Captain Kirk's dad, they team up because of time travel shenanigans or whatever. Is
I'd
Captain
watch
Kirk's
it.
dad a major character in Star Trek?
No, they do.
They
No,
created for this.
yeah, I mean no,
They created
actually,
for this.
as an on-screen, they do reference him, and it's known that Kirk's father lived long enough to see him command a starship.
Yeah, like I
Gotcha.
said, this one
Those
that he
that so
dies
that
and
is
everything is
known.
created. It's
In the
created.
series, yeah. Shit, I was gonna say something. So I would actually pay to see this movie. Completely off topic. Chris Hemsworth as Steve Irwin in a biopic.
Chris
Hey,
Hemsworth
yeah.
as Steve
I
Irwin.
said I want them to do when I grew up my one of my favorite movies was the Crocodile Hunter Collision Course movie. And my pitch is they should do a sequel where it's his son.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
it's exactly the same movie. It's just him and the family traveling through doing
What
So,
what
and
movie you
there's a
say?
spy movie in the background.
Crocodile Hunter.
Crocodile
You
Hunter?
say that?
There's a movie called
Okay,
with
never
Steve
said.
Irwin. It's
Now
called
that you
Crocodile
said
Hunter.
Crocodile Dundee will be great with it.
That too,
So,
but no, it's Crocodile Steve Irwin. He had a movie which was very weird if you've never seen. Jake, could you do you want to describe the Crocodile Hunter movie to the audience?
if it's what I'm thinking of, it's basically just a really long episode of the Crocodile Hunter.
So okay, so Crocodile Hunter Collision Course is basically he's attempting to do a version of the show, and it's basically a version of the show. But in the background, there's a narrative where there's a bunch of criminals like spy. There's a spy movie in the background that's just happening,
Okay,
and he's
clearly I haven't
completely
seen this.
unaware of it, and
That's
he just keeps
awesome.
running into it.
That's
It's
hilarious.
genuinely so they keep trying to like get him and they think he's like this spy, but he has no clue, and he's just doing an episode of Crocodile Hunter. It's so good.
That's
And they should do
hilarious.
a sequel with his son. It's
So, but
amazing.
that's great because Robert Irwin, I don't, there might not be a better example of somebody just flat out stepping into the shoes and carrying on the legacy. I
Him and the
mean,
daughter certainly, but yeah.
but in particular, because like Bindy's carrying on the legacy for sure, but Robert is just like, okay, fuck it, Dad's gone, their shoes to fill, I'm stepping
Yeah,
in,
pretty much,
and
yeah.
it's it's phenomenal. But yeah, so my recommendation for film, Star Trek 2009, because like I said, it
It's a good one.
is it's a really good entry point if you've never seen it, because some people when they first start watching Star Trek, they can find it a tad boring. I'm not one of those people, but not this movie. This movie is phenomenally paced. And all the cast are dead ringers for the original cast members. Like
They
everyone.
are, yeah. Well,
Everyone.
I mean,
So
I don't know that Chris Pine is. He's doing having now watched 6 episodes, 5 episodes of
Well,
this.
he's not
I could
okay.
say he's doing an approximation. I would say more
Sure,
than
sure.
anything.
Sure. But I mean,
I think he does good. I think he does good.
who's gonna follow Bill Shatner, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No one.
The
So
rest, though, you're right.
recommendation, guys. If not, we're gonna go 3 hours. Recommendations. What do you have next?
It's your movie.
Oh, my movie. Okay, I'm not. I'm gonna go really far away from Star Trek. I got the chance to watch this movie this week. It's called City of Dreams. It's tough, man. It's about human trafficking. It's tough, man. It made me cry 3 times. It's really rare for me because, as the audience know, I watch around at least 8 movies a week and multiple TV shows, multiples, like God knows how many, right? I spend probably 30 to 40% of my life is watching entertainment, and it's really rare for me to do this reaction. For the people that are just listening, it's me putting I can't watch the screen, but at the same time I'm in shock. and that happened many times in this movie without being a gore movie. It's real human pain. And that the director, when he's really new and young, he makes you feel that you are in there, and that's really good. The actings are, some of them unforgettable, some of them a little flat, because it's an independent movie. It's not. I don't know what is not hitting the festivals. The only thing I know is uh, Aparicio, Janitza Aparicio, the Oscar nominee, the Mexican Oscar nominee from the movie Roma. She's one of the producers, executive producers, and Luis Fonsi is the other one. It's such a real movie that it will be a disgrace not to talk about it, because it's just in the box office just make $1 million. They're showing it once a day at 10 p.m. Seriously, is so strong, talking about human trafficking from people from Mexico to the States, and it's the people that are making my T-shirt and the T-shirt that you're wearing. That is so heartbreaking. I highly recommend to everyone. Like I say, it's a tough movie. You will cry. If you don't cry, it's because you're a fucking asshole. Simple as that.
Well, we will give them the trailer real quick because yeah, you told me about it and I'm hesitant, but I'm gonna watch it because
You better, you
sounds
motherfucker.
hard.
I'll just be blunt. If you cried 3 times, I'm fucked. There's
But our job is to make sure. Just roll the fucking thing.
Jesús. Échale ganas del otro lado.
Atelintech mamá huitia intonali. No tlacto catzine. Tihuel cuinacuilis intonali. Vamos, mijo.
¿Y el chamaco, cómo está?
Está listo. Es bueno, es bueno.
Es la decisión correcta para toda la familia.
¿Crees que mañana vas a salir a jugar a la cancha? No.
Any reason you rolled through that stop?
I'm sorry.
That's your son?
Yes. Got any ID for the boy?
Yeah.
Watch the stops.
To a 2018 red Mustang belonging to Rodrigo Ramirez.
Rise and shine, homie! Rise and shine!
First shift 6:30, second shift 12:30. Last shift till 11, and boom, lights out at midnight. You crush it.
I know there's more of them in there.
Well, a fake passport isn't going to cut it.
Yes, sir.
These people have no criminal history whatsoever.
Kind of busy shin.
The busy kind.
We've got evidence that they're harboring illegals.
Plus for warrant, denied.
Copy that.
I'd quit poking around. Catch my drift?
What is the truth? The truth is that as much as we want to be free, we live and we die together. This is America.
well, yeah, I know, but I mean, it was based on a real operation. I mean,
It was based in a real concept of what the operation is supposed to be.
Which, by the way,
I was gonna say
we're back. So we were while you guys were watching the trailer, we were debating the merits of Sound of Freedom.
But either way, let's watch this movie.
Yes.
You will
Where
not
can we
enjoy
watch
it,
it?
but it will create a conscience.
It's in theaters.
It's in the movie.
now, isn't
In
it?
theaters right now.
It's in theaters right now. Okay, interesting.
Yep.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it will hit Amazon after.
Is it going to get a wide release? Does it have a wide release, or is it just like a small release window just to get in theaters?
It's just in theaters. I don't think it's gonna last for a long time.
No
I was
Fair
lucky
enough.
to watch it. If you guys, it's in AMC theaters in America. Just go and watch it today. You know what I mean? If you sometimes when we don't want to make a change, just go into the movie theater and pay for a movie like this, $8. It makes a change. So stop bitching and let's move for the next
not bitching.
recommendation. Not you, dude. I'm
Justin,
talking about that.
your movie anti-recommendation, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If this is a legitimate recommendation, just I can't.
It's not. It's not a legitimate. It is in the sense that like I could not believe what I was watching. Like I heard this thing was it's the cinematic equivalent of watching a guy suck his own dick. Like it's just I have never seen such a thing, and
So
like
jealousy?
I need to commiserate about how awful it was. I don't
So
I don't
hold on
know.
a second, Justin. You're saying that this movie is like having a
Like
guy
jerking himself off. Take your pick.
No, jerking is easy. Sucking your own cock
but
is
not-
submission, bro.
But in a way that's like the creep, like Louis C.K. jerking off, like that.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just- So what is the movie?
Oh, it's Lady in the Water. It's funny that you brought up Lady in the Water earlier. It's Lady in the Water.
You're totally right.
So
You're totally
fun fact. I multiple times, it's verifiable. I often identify Lady in the Water as the worst movie I've ever seen. It was so bad that an ex-girlfriend of mine was really into M. Night Shyamalan. She dragged me to the theater to see it. After that movie, I said, fuck this, we're watching another movie. And we did. We went right back around and watched something else because I wasn't going to let that be
Band
me.
Brothers.
We ranked the movie. I did anyway, as of all the M. Night Shyamalan movies I'd watch as like worst and best worst and like least worst. And like I was torn between this and The Happening because The Happening was magnificently terrible. But this thing was so pretentious.
The Happening
I
is
could not
not
believe
bad,
he wrote it.
Justin.
It's very
like
bad.
I could not believe
The
that The Happening is funny bad. This was
Happening is not bad,
agitating
it's
bad.
Fucking
my God.
awful, dude. I forgot
God.
that existed.
Oh my God, all the spoilers. What the fuck are
What?
all the people?
No, I all week me and Joe were
let's
like,
be
what?
honest. Night could be a little too much.
No,
but
and
it's got good things. I mean, The Sixth Sense is an amazing movie. Guys.
The Sixth Sense is an amazing movie. That's why movies like The Happening and Lady in the Water pissed me off. The Sixth Sense, I rewatched it for the show this week.
You guys
and that
remember?
Movie is incredible because if upon a second watch, you will notice that not a single actor addresses, not even just the main actors, but background actors don't even look at Bruce Willis. And it's a detail you don't notice until a second watch through. It is an incredible movie.
Yep.
All right, let's watch this. Not
the trailer
we can
for
talk
Lady in the
for
Water.
fucking
This
5
is
hours.
the trailer for Lady in the Water.
I'm Cleveland Heap. Welcome to the Cove.
I hear splashing some nights.
Hello? Hey! I saw you! I saw you!
Who in the world are you?
My God, you have an animal size.
I don't know who you are, but you did something to my thoughts.
Where are you from?
The blue world.
When the door to her world is opened.
Oh my God.
Others will come through.
What do you think it was? Some kind of dog? Are there any wolves in this area? Hyenas?
An animal that size doesn't just walk around not be seen.
And the fate of this world
Why is she here?
She's trying to save us.
Does man deserve to be saved?
lies in her hands.
What do you see? Cleveland, run!
Did something go wrong?
lady in the water.
How many of you are there?
I like Knock at the Cabin. And I love Split. I think Split is genuinely good.
Split is good. 'Cause,
Unbreakable is
we're
really
back.
good too.
I loved Unbreakable. Unbreakable was my favorite one.
That
I loved
trilogy is good. Even the bad things are good.
Yeah.
Mr. Glass is good too.
I just love the scene in Unbreakable when he stops the I don't know, would you call that assault or battery? Both.
Both, I guess.
Yeah, both. Anyway, that's my favorite scene in the movie, just because to me that's the moment when he's like, okay, I can and will do something with this. But then turn around in Glass and he drowns in a fucking puddle.
My thing with
Okay,
Glass
we
was
talk about this.
I
Come on.
wanted the big punch up between those two. Like the funny thing about Split is if you don't know anything about Unbreakable, like I took my friend to Split, and when I first saw Split, the twist at the end that it's a stealth sequel.
Go. This is a general audience thing. Don't tell us how you split your friend.
Well, when it got to the end of Split and Bruce Willis shows up, my friend went, "Yeah, so what?" And my mind was blown. I had an idea. I wanted him to do a similar thing where he does like a stealth sequel to The Sixth Sense, where it's like a movie about a guy who he's like same thing to Bruce Willis, where like nobody's really talking to him, and you're like, what's going on? What's the deal? And then you get to the end, and then like David, like Haley Joel Osment just sits at a bench next to him and is like, hey man, we need to chat. Or I want to do the one where it's like where it's like he's been helping people for like 20 years. He's now like our age. He's been helping, and he's just bitter and resentful, and they're still trying to be scary. He's like, yeah, man, I get it. You got a bullet hole in your head. Like, can we just do this? Like, one of those two. I want to do one of those two. But yeah, I fucking hate Lady in the Water. For me, it's a recommendation based on the fact that like it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Like you have to be like you have to appreciate the amount of ego that went into that movie. So, I think that's my thing.
You just did a recommendation for people to save their time. So it's an anti-recommendation.
It's anti-recommendation. The other ones are full-bore recommendations. That's the only one that's an anti-recommendation.
All right.
What do you have next?
So next is my television show, and for those of you who haven't seen it, I do have the season 1 trailer. I've already gushed about it, so I won't delve to it. The Orville. Even if you don't like Star Trek, it's a show worth watching because it's so good. But it's
fun. It's so fun.
It's fun, but surprisingly deep. Like I think episode 2 really starts the trend of really, really deep, fickle conundrums. And I mean, it's like it starts right away. But here is the trailer for season 1 of The Orville to give you a bit of a flavor.
Ed, have a seat. I have good news. There's a ship available, the USS Orville.
Ever since I was a kid, I have wanted to serve on an exploratory vessel.
You're nobody's first choice for this job, but we have 3,000 ships to staff, and we need captains.
Can I have one of these mints?
Those are marbles. We're giving you one last chance.
I just want to say I am thrilled to be your new captain. I want this to be an efficient ship, but also one that you're glad to be serving on. Lieutenant Commander Bordas, your entire species is male, isn't it?
That is correct, sir.
Probably not a lot of arguments about leaving the toilet seat up and that kind of thing, right?
Mocklins urinate only once per year.
Really? I'm up 2-3 times a night.
That is unfortunate.
It is. Time to meet the locals. Hi, I'm Captain Ed Mercer. Holy crap! We don't mean your family any harm.
Well, we did just shoot his dad.
Aside from shooting your dad, we don't mean your family any harm.
Captain, there's a message coming in from Admiral Halsey. It says that an executive officer has become available.
No. Oh, crap. Sorry, man. You okay?
Yeah, it's all good, man. You okay?
Yeah, all good. Sorry.
All right, no worries.
The captain does not appear to be pleased at the arrival of his first officer.
They were married.
No way.
You know how many times I tried to talk to you, but you weren't hearing me, or you weren't around at all, but I did try. I was the one who suggested couples counseling.
The therapist was your brother-in-law.
This should be a really fun trip for all of us.
Perhaps we should not be talking about this.
Oh, no. We're talking about this. This is a thing. You'll be delivering supplies to the science station on Epsilon 2.
Thank you for coming. We need protection.
Protection from what?
The krill. We have figured out a way to manipulate the speed of events.
So, it's an anti-banana ray.
It's really interesting.
We need no longer fear the banana.
Does it work on all fruit?
What about salads?
you do realize this could be used as a weapon.
That's why you're here.
Orders to Captain Mercer. Just detected a Krill destroyer entering orbit.
Door's jammed.
Alara, you want to open this jar of pickles for me? I loosened it for you.
Return fire!
Give me the device, or I will destroy your ship.
Sorry, can you move like 2 steps to your right? It's just a lot of dead space there. Just perfect. Yeah, sorry, you were just very weirdly framed.
What?
What is that? Is that a beer?
Yeah, I'm nervous. You know, it's a new ship. I want to make a good impression.
It's 9:15 in the morning.
Sorry.
Be nice. The
All right,
upkeep is
we're back.
probably
That was the Orville.
Fantastic show. Let's.
So good.
If you haven't
So
watched
good.
it, watch it. And
Yeah.
if you had watched it, rewatch it again in Hulu
Yeah, I
or
cannot
Disney
Exactly.
watch
Plus.
it.
Let them know that you
Crazy
love
love
it
it.
because we want season 4. Damn it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Exactly.
what is next? Oh, well, next is a recommendation of mine. TV show, thanks of the company HBO. We was able to rewatch it. And of course, I'm a super fan of the video game, The Last of Us. The show is really good. It's okay. You just say it's okay, Justin. You just say it's okay.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, I think you say it's okay. I go like, okay.
No,
that's a
it's
fist
so
fight.
good. That game is good. That
the
game is
game-
good. That show is good.
I'm gonna tell you, I've been playing The Last of Us for 12 years, the original one. Since it was released, I bought a console for that. I don't play other thing that is not The Last of Us. I finish it in every possible difficulty, and it's really good, and I love it. And when I saw the show, even I'm not a fan of Pascal, whatever he's Pedro Pascal. I'm not a fan of him. I really don't like the guy. I really think that
Not even the SNL Latina grandma.
no, like
Or I guess
I
it's a
don't like
mom.
him. No, but you know what? I respect him as an actor. We talked about this before. He doesn't do shit for the Latino community, so
Really,
it's good that you care about yourself.
You don't like
He needs to do something.
my son don't have ADD. He just like to jump.
No, he's a great actor, man, but he's in a position where he could do a little better for Latinos, and he's not. He just thinks about himself. They're making money, and that's not cool for me. Either way, I think that George Clooney is supposed to be the actor for that. He would look perfect.
Interesting.
But-
I can see that. I can see
Well,
it.
and there
No,
were
well,
I don't
he
know.
looks like him.
there were people saying the same thing about Sully from the movie they did of Uncharted, and I can see that too.
Yeah, because Sully's supposed that, and Mark Wahlberg's supposed to be Tom Holland
Yeah.
because of the age. But either way, Tom Holland is a little puny dancer. I don't care about him.
I do
don't-
agree that Pedro Pascal is a tad too small for Joel, but
dude, the other one, the character was created around that actor. What is the name? I just lost it again. The guy from
I mean,
the one that's supposed to be. I just said the name.
Joel is played by
But Pedro Pascal, but the guy that I saw that's supposed to be George Clooney. George Clooney. If you
I can see that.
it's created for him, and the age was more correct. But either way, if you gotta watch it, it's a really good show. First season on HBO Max nowadays, and let's shoot it.
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family.
I'm not family.
No. You're cargo.
Why are you so important?
Somewhere out west, they're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
If she so much as twitches, don't.
Okay.
If I'm taking you with me, do what I say when I say it. You got any advice on the best way west? Yeah, go east. If you've come this far, then you know what's out there.
You're not gonna scare us.
Scared him?
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
Be careful who you put your faith in.
It might not be her father, but you were someone's.
You trust me?
I have my PS4 in LA, so I hate it.
Jordan doesn't like The Last of Us. He just never got into it.
Well, tell Jordan that he's not my favorite of the Spur brothers.
he's more of an Uncharted guy.
We're back.
You're back.
Great. So we were talking about the game. If you can watch the show HBO, the game PlayStation, you need to play the first before you play the second. Don't make a mistake. The graphics are amazing. And let me tell you something about The Last of Us is the first game in the history of video games that qualified perfect 10s. You guys know that?
I did read
everything.
that, yeah. Which
so
I
it's
don't
really
get
good
it.
game. You don't get it? Well, nobody's perfect, Jake. We still love you. What is your recommendation, Justin, for TV show?
And it's 2 bit of promotion. On my show this week, we're doing R-rated comedies because we just hit 69 subscribers. Obviously, we had to do R-rated comedies. And then someone ruined the bit by pushing us up to number 70. But whatever. I'm committed. So I watched Sausage Party this week. So
the movie or the TV show?
Well, that's okay. So my TV recommendation is the TV show. I watched the TV show. I knocked it 8 episodes out in an afternoon today, and it is terrible. It's not very good, but also it's so fucking weird. It's hard not to recommend, especially the 7th episode. I don't think I could describe it on here, but it gets really nasty. That's how I'll put it. It gets really dirty, but it's absurd. It's an absurd show. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I will watch it soon.
Here is a look at Sausage Party, Foodtopia.
The TV show.
Yeah,
Foodtopia.
But it's called Foodtopia.
Food is alive. I repeat, food is alive.
Commence Operation Dessert Storm! Welcome to Foodtopia!
Food is now the dominant species on Earth.
And as long as this brainy little dude is on our side, we can't lose!
We started a revolution and made this happen.
This is what life is gonna be like from now on! Living in perfect harmony!
There is nothing that can stop us!
Oh, fuck! What is happening? Oh, God! No! What are we gonna do without you? We don't know how shit works. We don't know anything.
Frank, does this look like paradise to you? You got blind melons and smashed pumpkins. You're gonna tell me the revolution was worth it? No way.
If we're gonna fix Foodtopia, we need a human to tell us how.
Back on a human hunt.
I go on and on.
They're dumber than you think. You know their brains aren't even in their heads, right? They're in their butts. I'm plugged in.
What are you doing?
There's a hot dog up my ass. Oh, it's controlling me.
Don't hurt me. I'll do whatever you want.
Doing things the food way.
I brought you some finger foods.
Looks like you gained about an inch there.
Ooh.
I'm an everything bagel!
You hear that, world? I'm in love with the hot dog! Where's the entry point? Hot dog. Clever girl.
For not.
I'm like.
You haven't.
We're back. We're back.
Oh. Anyway, we're talking about other things. I apologize. So recommendation. What is next, Jakey boy?
Next is I've got music, and this one, again, Star Trek themed. I gotta. It's the opening theme of Star Trek Enterprise, and a lot of fans make fun of it. It's a great song, isn't it?
It's a good song. It's a good song, yeah.
It's really good. A lot of Star Trek fans hated it at the time, and some still make fun of it. But then others like jokingly make fun of it. It's like all the other Star Trek dreams. Oh, this is ethereal and nice. Star Trek Enterprise.
I was gonna say, is it like soft rock from like the mid 2000s? Like, isn't that the whole?
Kind of. I always kind of. I don't know. It's really hard to place. It's kind of like if you imagine Aerosmith's music with Huey Lewis on vocals. That's the best way I can describe it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good shit. I like it. It's on my playlist.
You don't like The Last of Us, so we're not talking to you anymore. My music recommendation, Falling in Reverse. I'm gonna go and see them pretty soon. I think it's this week or the next week. Man, this band, the first time they showed it to me, I went like, what the fuck I'm listening to? The more I listen to them, the song Let the World Burn, if you guys can watch the video and then watch the live presentation, you can understand. I mean, the perfection of execution is brutal. So yeah, you should, that song I highly recommend. Let the World Burn by Falling in Reverse.
It was very much the same. It was very much the same for me because first time I listened to Falling in Reverse, just like you said, I'm like, the fuck is this? But the more I listen to it, the more I love it. Anyway, Justin,
yeah, it's
your
really,
music.
really fucking good.
My music is, once again, we're doing R-rated comedies, so I watched the most canceled movie of all time, Get Him to the Greek, and I quite enjoy.
Oh my god, I love that album, Justin.
It's a legit good album. The music on it is good.
Album.
It's if you like British style rock that is laced with double entendres, some of which don't make any sense. Searching for a Father in America is a song that makes no sense, but it's a legit good song.
Well,
and it makes me sad that
Wall
Russell
fantastic.
Brand turned out to be insufferable because he's kind of a good singer.
He actually, that album is extremely well produced. Ferry Walls, Beaners and Banks. I mean, they're in my playlist because I like the song for the sound. I know.
Yeah.
It's a really good. It sounds like Oasis do it right.
Yeah, like I'm going up, I'm going down. Is genuinely, it's honestly really good. It's a good moment.
African Child, that's the only bad one.
Okay. I must say, okay. As an artist, Virus, I have to ask. To me, Jonah Hill, and this is a joke I'm gonna make when we do it on the episode, but Jonah Hill just gets abused. That whole movie does nothing wrong except for the moment where Russell Brand asks him for legit criticism on African Child, and he starts off saying like, "This is what I think you should do," and then he proceeds to just be like, "And it's the most awful piece of shit I've ever listened to." I'm like, dude, way to like rip his guts out in front of him. That's not cool. Like, but yeah, it's a good album.
But it's a great album, bro. It's a really great album. Yeah, I thought the reason I thought you were gonna play it.
Oh no, we can't play music. We'll get copyright flag.
Okay, copyright.
Right.
So my weird recommendation. I know we recommend things saying like, yeah, you should check this out. If you're a fan of Star Trek, you need to watch this. Imagine, if you will, in a concept, what if they did Star Trek in the style of the Flintstones? This is a thing. This is a thing that exists. It's called Stone Trek, and it was a parody series. Flash animation. Remember when Flash animations were big?
Yeah, 2000 and something. 10
They did. To my knowledge, they did 4 or 5 episodes. It's exactly what it sounds like, and it's so fucking funny. I mean, Captain Kirkstone, Mr. Sprock, Dr. McCoy, and it is exactly it's the Flintstones in space, and it's so goddamn funny. The first episode they do is the caveman trap, which Justin, you'll appreciate that.
That's funny.
It's
I do
so funny.
appreciate that.
Sound effects and everything. It's great. You can find them on YouTube. Just type in Stone Trek.
That's
Unfortunately, they're
brilliant.
still. I think they're in like 480p or 320p because these were from like the early 2000s. So
Wow.
obviously haven't been remastered. But yeah, and we will cover them on the Final Frontier when we do this special season of just like Star Trek parodies. But oh my God, they are so funny. They're great.
That is
They're
funny.
That's
fantastic.
funny. We're doing books.
Books or weird recommendation, whatever you got.
I got a book, and I know it's side of sensitive and me recommending this book, but it start with us. It ends with us. The movie was released because of the book success, and actually the author is one of the executive producer, and the movie already put together more than $200 million. So it was worth it. The movie is well done. Not for me, but it's well done. So I got curious to get the book to read it, and the book is solid. It's a solid. It's not for you, for us manly to read, but it will help you to understand your girlfriend a little better. So it's like a manual. What you haven't done in doing a relationship. So it's like a manual. Yeah. So it ends with us. Justin, do you have a recommendation?
I mean, yeah, my weird recommendation is gonna be the Sausage Party movie, which just really quickly, the first time I watched, I don't know if you guys have this in the States, but here we have a type of movie theater called the VIP, and you go and it's a restaurant. They serve you booze. You can get.
Hold a second, Justin. Do you really think, I don't know if you got that in America? We fucking invented motherfucking Canadian.
Fair enough. Well, next to my VIP theater, we have the legal substance here in Canada. I don't know. I don't want to say it on stream, but we sell it. We sell it. We have an equivalent to that, like a liquor store equivalent to that sells that. And I bought an edible, and I went and I watched that movie and had quite a bit of liquor.
Shit.
And I was so wasted. I thought I hallucinated the end of that movie. I woke up the next morning and I went to Jordan and said, Jordan, did we watch a movie where a bunch of food had a massive orgy for like way too long? Like that scene goes on forever. It was so bizarre. Like I just don't understand the cross section of like who's looking for a parody of a Pixar Disney movie that also has religious and political commentary in it. I don't know who this movie's for. It's super weird, but it is funny, I will admit.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. That was James Franco's last movie, right? That was a sexual joke. That was a sexual joke, guys.
That's terrible.
James Franco. All right. That will be it for all my friends.
Yes, just to let everyone know. Check out The Final Frontier. First episode premieres on September 8th. That's this coming Sunday. And it's a lot of fun. I will say these episodes were more complex than I thought they were going to be, but they were also a lot more fun. Like there's
And you need to watch the animations.
Yeah, really you definitely got to. Oh, that's in episode 2. You guys have seen it.
If you made it all the way to this point in Toon Talk 2.0, thank you very much. Please share, go back and look the other shows. Thank you for being our guest today, Justin. It's always a pleasure to have you here. You know that everything I said about Canada is a lie because I'm closer to Canada than a lot of people, right? But I love that fake country.
Not even a real
country anyway.
No.
Omni, I know you're not here right now, but please reach out to us because I'm down for Jeopardy, and I'd like to invite you on for an episode of The Final Frontier.
Omni, just keep in mind that we call him James Franco here in the company, so be careful, Omni.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for enjoying this episode of Toon Talk. I know it was a long one, but it was a fun one.
I know. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, everyone.